Don't forget to unmute your mic.
Hey, this is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird. What's up, boo?
Hey, what's oh, boo? I meant to say bro, dude.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but
You know I did.
Is boo.
I didn't mean to.
What's up, boo boo?
Hey, what's up, boo boo? Chi. Hey.
Not much, dude. I'm posting that we're going live right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm trying to post all these foos right now.
These foos. What's up, everybody in the chat? While Joe gets his fingers in a row with the typing, we got Chad Smith. Everybody, we got Luis Montez, good guitar slinger, Sun Saver, yo, dude. Tim F, yes. We've got Champ, the champion of the world. Van Gogh, of course. Yes, Sonny from Paranormal Chop Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Paranormal Chop Shop, check them out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
I don't know why I did that.
I liked it. Wes is in the house, y'all.
You're welcome, dude.
I mean, thank you. Yeah, hell yeah.
Thank me.
Thank me.
Hell yeah.
Well, dude. Okay, so it's another Thursty Thursday.
It's another Thursty Thursday,
and
I got my drinks in hand, dude, ready to go. We're rocking and rolling, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. We got it.
It's gonna be a good one.
But
you know who else has been having good ones lately?
Who?
Is our buddy, Mr. William Townsend. I don't know if you guys know about it. I know some of y'all do, but if you don't know about it, William Townsend is part of UFO Garage podcast as well. He's still got his Bob thing that he's doing. You know, the guy is definitely staying busy, but he's over here with UFO Garage as well, and he does a show on the weekends, and it's super good. So you go and take a ride with Big Willie in his big blue van.
Big blue,
all right.
Van.
And this past weekend was pretty good. He did a little small thing on Sunday, and dude, he's got big fans over there, dude.
I just love the idea because he texted me because he never wants to like step on our toes or anything or overstep boundaries. I'm like, dude, no, man, we freaking love you, man. Just come on, you could go live on our show anytime you want. We love William.
Yeah.
And I love the idea. Like, hey. He just had this feeling, right? Like this empathic feeling that maybe somebody needed to get some stuff off their chest. Maybe you needed to tell their story.
That's right.
Fucking love that.
And somebody did, right? Somebody did have something to say.
And it kind of proves like why we haven't done live call-ins in the past. But honestly, dude, right. it was
the greatest thing ever.
It was beautiful. So, let's play a little bit.
So somebody had something to say, right? So let's let everybody check it out if you missed it.
By the way, we love William. This was just hilarious.
Willie, I'm going to bring in someone named Willie here. Willie, how's it going tonight? Thank you for hopping on the garage here and hopping on the van with old Blue with me tonight. How are we doing?
He takes it so well, dude.
He did such a good job.
He did such a great job.
I can't tell if this is the greatest troll of all time or if you're actually interested in having a conversation.
Dude, me and my wife lost it, bro.
So I'll ask you one more time.
It's so good. We have an idea of who it might be, but it's totally speculation. Either way, it's hilarious. Yeah. And did you see? I think, dude, I can't tell, but I feel like the end of that conversation when they were like, "I got one more thing to say to you." Yes. I feel like it was a poop that fell in the toilet. That's what I think that sound was.
Should we listen to it or not? Let's wait.
This is hilarious. I just thought it was funny, dude.
So funny.
Dude, William did such a good job handling that. We were just talking about how that if that would have ever happened to us, we just had to turn the show off, dude. There's no way we would have been able to make it through another hour without laughing the entire time.
Dude, I might have thrown up. I would not be able to concentrate, dude.
Oh my God. It was great, man. It was great. But hey, dude, I made a post today on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm in a Facebook post.
Yeah,
and
I saw
usually
that.
it's something I put in the UFO stuff, but I wanted to see what all the regular people thought out there, man. And I got some pretty interesting stories. And a lot of people, they liked it. I mean, this is like 17, right? But usually when I post stuff about either like the show or like events that we're doing, nobody likes it. It's like completely empty all the time. But today I was pleasantly surprised. We actually got some activity on it, and it my efforts weren't wasted. Let's just say that. There's some pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep the names anonymous, like while we're talking about it. If you want to see whoever it was, I mean, you can go to my page and check it out. But I'm gonna keep all the names anonymous, just for the conversation, right?
So the post said like, hey. I usually post on my podcast channel, but I'm doing this on my public one, right? Or do you want to pull it up?
Yeah, it says, this is something I would usually post in my UFO group, but I'm thinking of ideas for tonight, and I thought this could be interesting for everyone. After doing a show for about 2 years, one of the most interesting things we have found is how many people close to us have either seen or experienced something. The funny part is how nobody's ever talked about it. Why? So a simple like, if you ever seen or experienced anything strange in the sky, if you want to post just a simple where and what you thought it was. If you have a picture, you can send it and we'll show it on the show. So yeah, that's what I did. And we had some really good ones, man. I did have a video that was sent to me that was pretty cool. And I think Ben's got it queued up. Now, the interesting thing about this one is it's not so much the video itself, right? It's their reaction, man. It's so pure. You can really you can kind of hear those like pure reactions. And this actually happened last night. He described it as a triangle. Let me go ahead and pull up the message really quick, and I'll just read the short caption that he sent me. Because it was pretty cool, man. I was pretty surprised that I got the response. It said, man, literally last night, my wife and I noticed a bright object in the sky to the southwest, out in the Rockdale area, kind of, a little bit further down the road from us. I was like, this was a helicopter or a drone, but it was like at 8:45 at night. And it wasn't until I saw a plane fly over it that I realized how massive that bright object actually was. It almost seemed to be like a triangle, and it appeared to be doing like a quarter spin from side to side. You can kind of see it move in the video. It's like got this weird little movement to it. It's pretty neat. He said after about 15 minutes, it just vanished off into the horizon. He's like, I don't know, man. Could have been anything, but it was very interesting what I saw. Yeah. So this is the video to it, and I love the reactions, dude. It's so cool. Hell yeah. And it just happens right down the road.
And this, like Texas. I mean, I've been to this place. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Make sure you turn the audio. There you go. The volume up there.
Damn. Oh. So I mean, it doesn't look like much, but it gets pretty.
That's not a planet.
That's not a planet, she said.
There's something above it? Oh, it's a plane above it. You see the plane above it, though?
Yes. It's like blinking above it. See something?
What'd you do?
Sorry, that's the plane. But what's that bright thing? What is it?
See, it looks like it's doing that weird thing.
It's like spinning?
Yes. That's not a plane.
You can kind of see it wobbling.
This video camera.
Do you see it wobble?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple, right? It's just real chill, but like it was kind of cool. Like the cool thing to me was like it wasn't until I saw a plane fly over it that I realized how freaking big this thing was.
Yeah.
And it was like spinning.
And so I want to say something real quick, dude, because last night the moon, huge, full moon. The moon. I tried to take a photo of it, and it's so underwhelming. Like in real life, it's huge, and you try to like focus on it. That's just how like cameras work, man. They like focus on the light, and it just our eyes are not. It's not same. So like a light that's, I mean, obviously not the moon or a star, it's not going to look as big or impressive as it is in person. No matter unless you have some badass $10,000 camera, dude. So I commiserate with this person because I know I bet it was badass in real life.
I know. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, dude, I mean, like, like you seen my little video of the thing that flew over my house, and it just doesn't do it justice. It was right there, and it looked small in the video.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. It was pretty big. It was pretty big for whatever it was, dude. It wasn't bigger than me. You know what I'm saying?
It was pretty big. About the size.
Hell yeah. Oh, Ashley's asking what I'm drinking at his sweet ass mug. I'm drinking I'm drinking this. It came from HEB.
Monfreer.
Ashley, you know all about HEB now, right? It's like the best store of all time. I got this because I was looking for something kind of spacey, and I couldn't find anything spacey, so I got this cool elephant flying an airplane instead.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
It's a Pinot Noir, if you guys are interested.
Dude, Pinot Noir are literally, it's my favorite, other than Cab's Salvant, that one. Smooth. Love that wine, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
So is it a local? Is it a local wine?
It's not, dude. It's from, where is this from? Let's see. Vinted and bottled by Monfrere Winery, American Canyon, Napa County, California.
I like the way you said that.
I know. Yeah. I'm bummed it's from California. I should have paid attention. But I was on the phone with Dave Scott, and we were like video chatting, and like I was running through HEB, and I was like getting this bottle of wine, show prep. You know what I'm saying? And
did you talk to Dave on the phone today too?
Yeah, I did.
I talked to Dave.
You talked to Dave, dude?
I talked to Dave too,
what
man.
Did you talk to Dave about, dude?
We were just like, bro, been a long damn time. What are you doing?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We haven't caught up in a while. It's a couple things about the website, and yeah, dude.
That's what's up, dude. Yeah, we were talking about Canadian money.
Isn't it? It's fake, isn't it? It's like if you actually look at it, it's not there.
I don't know.
It's a hologram.
We didn't get into that.
It's a hologram. It's very futuristic.
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. Hey, Dave's not here, man. Dave's not here.
Oh, Dave's
not here, man.
Oh,
it's a Cheech and Chong reference.
Oh.
Dave, open up. Nah, Dave's not here, man. It's like, it is Dave knocking on the door. He's like, no, Dave's not here. Oh, dude, there's Dave me. Right there.
I know.
Dave is here. Dave's here now, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. So
did you know
about Canadian money?
Dave, did you know that Canadian money is a hologram?
Is that real? We didn't get into that today, man.
We need to. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Dude. Hell yeah. So yeah, that was a video for that one. That was pretty cool. And then we got some other cool little stories. This one says 5 objects over Granger Lake at sunset. They would appear and form a pattern. Then they disappeared for a few seconds and reappeared on the other side of the lake. Dude. You know what I'm saying? And they would form a different pattern. We sat on the boat watching it happen for a good 45 minutes, and then they all shot completely straight up and out of sight.
So one thing about that is that there was 5, which for me, that was one of my sightings, that there was 5 orange orbs.
Also over a lake.
Bing, over a lake. Big body of water. Something to it, dude. It wasn't salt water. It was fresh water.
Fresh.
So there was like this idea that I had a while back that like maybe these UFOs or USOs are utilizing salt water. They're like harvesting salt water to power whatever engine or whatever. And yeah, I feel like you can do that. Electrolytes, right? Like you use Gatorade for your plants.
For your plants, because plants need electrolytes, dude.
Yeah. Well, like salt water, like it's got to be in some way. Oh shit, what do you call it? Conductive. So I don't know. I was just thinking of all kinds of crazy ideas, but
yeah,
fresh water
definitely could be.
But like, what's in fresh water, dude?
Well, dude, Michael Schratt has a great illustration, and he pulled it straight out of the Project Blue Book files of a craft coming down and releasing a tube that went down into some fresh water
Dude.
and sucked it up. So maybe
shit.
it's just a simple hydrogen thing, right? Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, salt doesn't really have anything to do with it. Maybe they're extracting the salt and like licking it or some shit, right? For nutrients, and then they're just using the hydrogen for something to cool engines or fuck, dude. Maybe they just drink water, dude. We would never think about that.
Maybe they're just thirsty, dude.
Maybe aliens are just thirsty and they come here.
I've literally never thought about that.
Yeah. And they show up on Thursty Thursdays.
And they do.
Everybody's thirsty.
Half of our listeners are in the chat. The other half are aliens drinking water, dude. Chugging it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But dude, I love that. Like, okay, so the missing the cows that go missing, that there's certain parts of their body removed, right? I don't know if it's like a nice cut.
Oh, it's the good parts.
It's the loins.
It's the
sometimes it's the loins. But that and a little bit of water. I don't know, man. I wonder how many wineries go have sightings nearby.
Oh, I don't know, man.
You got steak, you got wine. What else do you need, bro?
I always thought like, hey, maybe they're like picking up water, right? And then like these cattle mutilation, like if they are making hybrids, maybe like for brain development and stuff, they do need like the protein nutrients from meats that like help the brain grow as like a human species.
Yes.
But they probably mix it with some other shit. Who knows, dude? Who knows, right? But that's just a cool thought. That's a cool thought.
Okay, so if we're following that idea, then they would the idea that if there is some kind of hybridization program and they're creating humans and they need the proteins that exist on Earth because they're most compatible with the human body, so they have to go out and get real cows, right? Like that would kind of negate this whole idea of this 3D printer that can 3D print anything from like filet mignon to one sweet buttery noodle, like that means that it's not that good. It's almost like you ever had a Nighthawk TV dinner steak? It tastes good. It's like a microwave. You haven't had a microwavable Nighthawk steak,
bro. I'm a hungry man guy. Okay, how do you feed a hungry man? Sing it, Rebecca.
Oh, I thought Rebecca was.
That's a son-in-law reference. It's another Pauly Shore reference, dude. How do you feed a hungry man?
Who's Rebecca?
Rebecca's the girl that he ends up going home with.
Oh, it's the love interest. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're just friends, dude, at first. And then
we all know where that's going, dude.
And then they become lovers.
Look at Pauly Shore. He's for a woman, he's got to be irresistible, especially in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
That scene where he's like in brother-in-law, where he's like in the short shorts and the cowboy boots and like the shirt.
Yes, dude. And then he puts some rollerblades on and he like pulls the string and like rides down the hill and feeds all those pigs.
Yeah. I mean, you can't say the guy isn't, he's a genius. I'm gonna say it.
He's like, well, of course I am. I'm gonna become a farmer. And he's like, you're going to become a farmer? And he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing the whole 9-to-5er. He said, you hear that, Theo? He's a farmer now. He's going to do the 9-to-5er. It's a good one. It's a good
9-to-5er.
9-to-5er. I got one more little story real quick.
Yes.
From the Post. These are just so cool, man. It's like, it's people that I know, and we've never talked about aliens. Oh, there's actually two things. One, I just kind of wanted to point out that was kind of cool. The girl had said, this happened right down the street from my house, and everyone around here is a believer because of it. And then she posted the link to the Cash Landrum case, which is pretty cool, right? Because I mean, we've got physical evidence, we have a sighting, but we also have physical evidence where plastic on the car melted, the handles were hot. We have burns, we have radiation burns, we have cancer, we have hair falling out, we have military helicopters escorting this thing away. Yep. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. So Cash Landrum case is pretty awesome. Go check it out if you don't know anything about it. You guys are all pretty smart and educated. I'm sure you already know about it. But if you don't, go check it out. But this other story, Taylor, Texas, right here. where I'm sitting is Taylor, Texas, right?
Hell yeah.
Said Taylor, Texas, 6th and Howard, about 1997. I was a kid playing up in the front yard, and my father points in the sky. 4 lights twinkle in a quadrilateral fashion, controlled and intermittently. They were about 100 yards apart.
Dude.
So there's a lot of big words, right?
Hold on. I think I used to live on Lexington.
Lexington.
So where's Howard? Sounds so familiar.
Yeah, 6th and Howard. So you go down basically to 6th Street and you take a right, and it's about 12 blocks up from where you used to live.
Holy crap, that's crazy. Okay,
It was like literally like right over your home almost.
Dude.
But y'all had all them big ass trees, bro.
We had the big ass trees, but we also had the football field next to my house. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's bright lights, but they're not that high, dude. Like,
yeah. And that would be behind you. You would be looking in the opposite direction.
Okay, right.
Howard.
So it couldn't have been the football field lights.
Yeah, no.
Dude. So that's not the only Taylor case. I'm working on getting a guest on. It's my dad's friend. You know, Chuck. I'm not going to say his last name just in case.
Hey, yo, Chuck
B. Anyway, he's seen some shit, dude. And I was like, dude, come on the podcast, tell us the story. He told me the story a couple of years ago, and it's pretty awesome, bro.
Yeah.
But Taylor, I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff about Taylor.
There is, dude. There's some strange things.
There's been some sightings there. So, dude.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed here, dude.
That's right.
That's right. At the meat market. And
Yeah,
that big ass house.
Them red Taylor weenies. The weenies.
The Taylor weenies.
Taylor weenies. We used to eat them Taylor weenies raw, man.
Yep.
We
didn't even
did.
beat them up or nothing, bro.
No, because they're already cooked. Why would we?
Yeah. They were good, bro. You just get them straight out that white paper that they would wrap them in. You just pull links off. And,
Yeah.
go play basketball and swim in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah.
You would swim with Taylor meat weenies in your mouth. Remember, dude, when we used to throw weenies in the water, bro, and we would dive in and catch them with our mouths?
I don't remember that, but like I could totally see us doing that at Ryan Green's house, dude.
That's where I planned that whole scenario in my head.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Holy shit.
But yeah, dude, so those are my stories. It was pretty cool. Like
That's
I said,
fucking awesome.
Nobody ever comments on any of my shit when I post it or likes it or anything like that. But today was pretty awesome. I had a lot of people reach out to me. I even had people that were like, yo, please don't tell anybody about this. I don't even want to be anonymous. I just want to show you because I appreciate what you guys do, but just don't show anybody. So, and those are really awesome too.
You totally didn't show me at all, dude.
I didn't show you, dude.
No,
Never.
it is not amazing.
He was like, you can show Ben. And I was like,
Oh, he said you could?
Yeah. And I was like,
so I
nope.
don't have to lie about it anymore. He did show. Joe showed me. It was amazing. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I was like, nope, fuck that guy. Yeah.
So the truth reveals itself. When brass comes to taxes, guess who's the graham cracker? Anyway,
cracker, dude.
The video's awesome, dude. I wish we could show it. Are you sure we can show it?
We can't, dude. We can't. I can't.
All right, fine.
If he hears this and he's like, yeah, go for it, then just don't say my name, then yeah. But I'm not going to do that. I don't even want to get into that whole mess because I loved it. It was a great video, and I want people to keep sending me shit. And I just don't want to break the trust with anybody.
Yeah, for sure, man. I respect that, dude.
But you're pretty, and I would normally show you.
Are you talking about Taylor Whitney's are pretty?
Taylor Whitney's.
I'm texting Dan. We got a special guest for us for you guys tonight.
Are we singing the Dan song, dude?
We have to.
We have to.
Sent you the link in Facebook. I gotta get off Facebook Messenger, dude. I've got too many messaging apps. So there we go. I'm using. So I don't know if do Discord. I've been using Discord. It's another app for you to download. I know you're stoked about that.
No. Because now I got all this shit that I'm typing on, and it's like, why can't we just use one? Why can't we just use one thing to communicate?
Because
They're like, no, because it's new and it's improved. And it's like, no, it's fucking complicated. I don't even know what all these buttons do. And like, you're just sending me a message. You just fucking text me. Like at this point, like just text me.
yeah, but I can't text you on my computer because you have an Android.
It was not my fault, dude, that you messed up.
Hey, okay, I messed up, but
You messed up.
I've spent way too much money on this Apple iPhone.
Exactly.
I want to do one thing real quick, and then we got to talk about our partner. So I
Big
posted
Willie?
Manscaped balls,
wife?
balls,
Oh.
big balls,
Oh.
ball shaver.
I thought you were talking partner like your boyfriend.
No, dude,
Oh, okay.
I would never tell anybody about that. You're my partner, dude. Secret's out. So okay.
You're gonna catch it for that one, dude.
Yeah. So I sent out this coupon code for free stickers, dude. Sticky. Did you see that? Sticky is the coupon code for 100% off of our stickers. I just wanted to like send out some freaking free stickers, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Reason I'm talking about this because I tried to share it on Facebook and they were like, you're trying to sell some shit. No way, bro. You got to
Don't
give
people
me some money, dude.
sell shit on Facebook all the time?
Yeah. So it wanted me to make it known that I was selling something and it was like a different type of post and it made me cringe and I hated it. So
You
anyway,
were like, but I'm not. It's free.
exactly. I was
You
just trying to give
should-
away
dude.
some shit.
You should have linked Facebook to it and been like, yeah, there you go. They're free. Go fuck yourself. And they
Anyway.
don't make any money.
Yeah. Well, they probably spent more money trying to get me to say that I was selling something than it did not. So,
yeah.
but anyway, I just wanted to thank Josh, Victor, Chris Josh C, Victor C, Chris B, and Bernice P for getting your free sticker. If anybody else out there wants a free sticker, go to UFOGaragePodcast.com and go to our store. You can get any 2-inch sticker for free, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Use the code
Sticky.
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 Chris Holm in the house. What's up, Chris? Haha.
Yeah, dude.
Chris has balls.
Dude, someone else gave us a super chat and I missed it. Sevens. Dude, thank you. Thank you for that super chat. Hell yeah. Also, if at any time, super chats are kind of for a lot of channels meant for like asking questions. I love the donations, but if you ever want to ask a question, feel free to.
You have to pay us.
We'll take donations. Like, that's awesome. Thanks for the support. I appreciate that. If you want to ask us a question or anything, might be a good way to do that. So, okay. So we've got Dan Warren in the green room right now, dude. And we've got some Shizne to talk about, bro.
Oh shit.
Lewis, thank you so much for that super chat,
Hell
brother.
yeah.
Thank you, bro. Hell yeah. Bob Lewis. Yes. Paranormal Chop Shop. If you haven't checked it out, Sonny, you lose. Hell yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah, check it out. But yeah, dude. So Dan Warren, let's bring him in, dude. Oh, we want to start the song?
Dan Warren. Dan Warren. Dan Warren. He's talking UFOs, government, and aliens. Hell yeah, he's here.
That was more like a remix than the original version, if I remember it right.
I think there's a lag, and there's no snare in my headphones, and I just couldn't catch the beat.
Yeah.
And Ben was totally out of key.
Yeah.
Ben messed the whole thing
Trying
up.
to keep you on your toes, dude. Trying to keep you on your toes, dude.
Hell
Dan,
yeah. Hey,
what's
we
up,
can't be
bro?
perfect all the time.
I just got back from a basketball, chalked up 2 L's tonight, guys. So it was a good night at the basketball courts.
Damn. So it wasn't the 99 Bulls.
No.
Oh, dang.
we're literally the bad news bears of our division. It's like everybody that's on our team, it's their first year. It's rough, just all around. There's nothing we're good at, and I hope none of them ever listen to this.
Sometimes though, dude, that's way better. right? Because
Oh.
like you either want to be like winning championships or you just want to have a good time and like look at this. This is so entertaining.
Well,
and
I'll
fun,
tell
right?
you right now, every basket is gold. Every time we hit a basket, we could be down 40-2, and we hit that basket, and we're cheering. Everybody goes crazy.
Everybody just erupts, and the crowd goes wild, dude. Yes,
We've been blanked a few times where it's been just 0 points on our side of the scoreboard by the end of the night.
Oh man, I love
Damn.
that, dude. You remember the old school NBA Jam?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
from downtown.
2-on-2.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
heating up.
Yes, man. I used to love that, dude.
Oh man, all the time. I could break backboards in that game tonight if I got the controller in my hands.
I know, man.
Bring it back,
Man.
boards, dude.
Back in the day, when you used to play a Scottie Pippen and shit, that was badass.
That was Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. That's a duo for me.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's
Rain
up,
Man.
man. Hell yeah. So how you been, dude? You been doing good?
Doing pretty good, staying real busy. I've just had a lot of kid activities in my life, trying to keep up with them. Like I've hit the official balls to the wall after work every day. We're running around a phase of our life. Like when they're little, like when you guys have them, like you're going to be home centric, but then at some point, and I hit that point this year, it switches. And now it's like, all right, we're all over the place all the time.
Dude, yes.
So you got a decade.
My brother has he's got 3 kids, man, and they all play sports and they're all in different cities right now. So like him and his wife are like, all right, we don't love one of you tonight, right?
Short straw.
Yeah, I know. I know. We're flipping a coin. There's 3 of you, and there's only 2 sides to a coin.
It's insane that like you said it's gonna be a decade. Like, okay, yeah, 10 years old is like when they start to like do stuff and like you gotta go places like sports and things. I can't wait for that, but it's insane that it's like 10 years from now, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, we're playing fall ball this year. Everybody's playing travel ball.
Man, travel teams are ridiculous. Just so you know, I don't know what those people do outside of playing travel ball, but those kids are intense. Like we went up against a few of those like right out of the gate, and that was the times we scored 0 points. Like those kids are not missing shots, and we're not getting across half court to even take a shot.
Because those kids are missing school, right?
Mm-hmm. That's their priority, man.
Yeah.
They're focused.
They're not playing. That's expensive too, man. That's thousands of dollars like for a season. You're like, God damn, I didn't realize cleats were this expensive. More like basketball shoes, you know, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But
yeah, and it's super parent driven, it seems, in my opinion. But I'm not on a travel team, so maybe it's a different story when you're on the inside. But it's like I'm letting my kids choose. Like you can try it out, see if you like it. My kid's not playing basketball next year. She's already made that decision.
That's awesome.
Nah.
It's like toddlers and tiaras for sports, bro.
Yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
serious, dude. They're not playing. It's crazy.
Like my wife is 6 foot tall. I'm 6'2". So like we produced big, tall daughters, and they're not going to be basketball players for sure.
I don't know why, but I did not picture you as 6'2".
I pegged you at 5'8", 5'9".
Like 5, yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm trying. My suspicion is that Ben is taller than Joe. I assume that's accurate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just because I slouch more, dude.
Yeah, we're totally the same heights because you slouch, bro. Dude, the 6'2", you're taller than me. I'm 6 foot. So
are you
taller than, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
all right. Here's one thing that you need to do as parents. Is yours 1 year old yet, Joe?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not too late. Do you know how tall they were when they were born? Like measuring them?
Man, they told me in the metric system. I'm not sure.
There's got to be a record of it somewhere.
Because my baby was just born. I know mine.
You gotta get a 1x6, mark it at like a ruler to be about 6.5 foot tall, and then every year on their birthday, you mark their height on that. That way, if you have 2 kids, you can always keep track of how tall they were, and you can put their boards together to see who is taller at what age, and then they could take that and be able to compare it to their kids when they grow up as well. So that, like, I've got 2 6.5 foot tall rulers for my kids that have all their birthday heights on them.
Dude, that's what's up.
That's
my
awesome.
grandma used to just mark our shit like in the kitchen, like in the doorway.
Yeah.
Like where the door closes, she would open it and she would mark it so that you could close it and you couldn't see it.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
On our door into our basement, we had all of our shit, bro. On the inside.
I bought a house in Ohio that had that. And it was like, man, I got to find the family that used to live here and like rip this frame off of the door and give it to them. But we couldn't ever find them.
Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Well, shit, man. Love it. Love it. So let's get into some stuff, man. Dan, we've been chatting earlier this week, man. And the first thing we talked about a little bit was and I loved it, man, was we were talking about these the UFOs that are able to affect the nuclear silos, right? And like nuclear silos, and us kind of speculating on how that was able to happen. And I kind of threw out something, but how did that start? Remind me, like what were we talking about that started that convo?
Well, my assumption is it's Robert Salas, S-A-L-A-S. Robert Salas has had that press conference about nukes and UFOs 2 days ago. So I think that was probably what primed the pump for that conversation.
Yeah.
Which it was almost a repeat of the 2008 press conference that he had about it, but still it's important for that information to get out and be made available to the public, because he's got documentation to back up the claims that he's making, which, I mean, the guy seems authentic, seems legit, seems like he was scared shitless at the time that it happened. And I would have been too. So it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen the documentary, Nukes and UFOs?
I think I've watched it twice, and I think I tried to watch the extended version once, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a little bit too much on a Saturday.
It's like over 2 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, it was like watching the Titanic. Shit was long.
Except like way less boobs.
Way less boobs in that one, dude.
Like 2 less boobs, dude.
Large. Right. This is what's in there.
Large. So
nukes.
So yeah. So I took that, Dan. I was in a weird mood. I had like little sleep, and I just I got excited. So hopefully I didn't come off like a crazy person. But I took it in a totally different direction. I was like, what if thinking about these crafts that are seen, or these lights seen around the nuclear silos, being able to shut off the capabilities of launching them, or maybe the launching just went down. I don't know if there's like a terminology, like they weren't allowed to launch them. Maybe it's more simple. Maybe it's not that there's something spooky going on, but that whatever technology these crafts are using are affecting not just like the idea of a nuclear device exploding, but more simple, like the electronic devices that are connecting the switches. And thinking about the flow of electrons with electricity, if you have a powerful enough magnet, you can, in theory, kind of stop the flow or redirect the flow and interrupt even a simple button that's even wired, or even a radio signal. I'm not sure what the technicalities on radio signals, how you divert radio signals, but I have a feeling it has something to do with like a really powerful magnet.
Well, that sounds in line with slide number 9, which, are you familiar with that? It was the one that leaked out of the TTSA on Chris Mellon's website, and it lists several things. One of them is spontaneous sensor disassembly, which basically means it shuts down electronics at a distance. So that's what you're describing, is the same thing with any of the problems that they have with when a UFO would fly over a car and the car would shut off. That's more or less spontaneous sensor disassembly, because it's stopping something from functioning properly. And if it's stopping the ability for electrons to flow through something that requires it, it's eliminating it as an option.
Dude. Yeah, for sure. Do you ever think about like they just showed up and they were like, I wonder what this stuff is. And they were like, oh shit, we just turned on all these nukes. We gotta go. Like they didn't mean to do it. Like, we always assumed that they came here and they were like, they're showing their force by turning on and off our nuclear weapons. But what if they didn't know that they could do it either? And they were like, oh shit, we gotta go. Like,
let's get out here before they figure out who did it.
or turn back off or whatever, you know, like they didn't even mean to. They were like, oh,
they're like,
God.
my bad, dude.
We literally just turned on everything that we don't want to happen. Like that's the whole reason we're here, right? It's to stop them from blowing each other up.
I remember that conversation now, and the perspective that I had on it was, what if what they're doing isn't them trying to tell us like, hey, nukes are bad, you need to shut them all down, but what if it's them saying, hey, those of you that are good, you can have this technology that disables all nuclear devices around the world, and if you implement this system, then you don't have to worry about nuclear, which I pronounced that word incorrectly, and someone's going to hate on me for saying it. But if we put basically a electromagnetic shield around the Earth that would prohibit any nuclear devices from being used, it's just as good as disarming ourselves. If it renders them all inert, then it might be the UFO saying, hey, here's some technology to protect yourself.
Dude, that's a way better idea than the one I had. Hell yeah.
So like that idea of like of inspiration, right? Like for hundreds, thousands of years, these crafts have been showing up, inspiring people to invent things or create art around things. Like, man, I think that's such a interesting perspective, Dan. I feel like I definitely align with that because it's not like they showed up for the Russians and said, hey, we're just going to shut your shit down. They showed up at a very specific spot and just showed what's possible. So like a catalyst in a way. So they're not really like giving anybody any technology, but they're showing what's capable. Like, love that.
Yeah, well, it's just like dangling a carrot in front of you, you know, like, oh, look, if we just keep trying, we can get to that point. You don't know, like, no one could break the 4-minute mile until someone broke the 4-minute mile, and then everybody broke the 4-minute mile. So once you know it's possible, you can strive to achieve that. That's just something that's been repeated in history time and time again.
Yeah, dude.
Do you think the inspiration from these craft? Well, I guess that's kind of the question. Do you think the inspiration actually comes from these craft, or do you think the inspiration is still human inspiration? Like in the fact of like, okay, I'm just a regular person. I'm living my everyday life. I've never seen anything crazy. And then that one time you see something absolutely amazing up in the sky, right? And most people would be like, oh, well, the craft inspired you to be creative or to create things or whatever. But what if it's just the simple fact of, whoa, I saw this crazy thing. Now my own like human reaction is to be creative, right? Because I remember when I was a kid and I would go see a movie for the next week and a half, I was whatever that movie character was, right? I was creating my own little reality. I was being creative and like imaginative after these movies that, like, you know, you watch Power Rangers on TV, but then you go see the Power Rangers movie, dude. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, whoa, that's so inspiring as an 11-year-old, you know? And now everything is like mechanical and like robots. And now you want to be an engineer and like, I want to make the Megazord, right? You know? So it's kind of interesting, like, you know, and sure, the craft could definitely have some sort of effect on your mind and maybe give you some ideas. But this kind of goes back to the whole idea of like, are we giving these things way too much credit for things that humans are actually doing? Right?
Oh yeah. I think that happens for sure. Especially like, that's why I can't watch Ancient Aliens. I think they've kind of overreached to some things. Like not everything can be contributed to that or attributed to that. So it's one of those gray lines where you can speculate, but you don't want to take something away from someone else's accomplishments.
What if the Pilgrims were?
Oh, why? Yes, even X-rated movies, they inspire me to this day.
So, all right, while we're on getting inspired by UFOs, like the thing, like there's all kinds of different ways to encounter a UFO. I don't know from personal experience, unfortunately. There's some really bad ways to do it. There's some really distant ways to do it. But the coolest way, the way that I want to have an interaction is a download. Have you guys heard of people getting downloads?
Yes, dude.
That is like a gift. Like, how
sounds
does
so intense?
it does, like, all of a sudden I know a lot of crap about something in particular. Like, where does that come from? Sign me up. Like, I want to raise my IQ points. Let's do it.
Yes, man.
I think the trick is, dude, I'm not saying that I've ever had a download, but I have a feeling that I think a lot of us get those downloads and we just don't know how to interpret them. I mean, have you ever woken up from a dream with an idea for like a song or like a movie or some scenario in your dream where you're like, oh my God, that's so important. I need to write this down.
And then I went back to bed and forgot it.
You went back to bed. Exactly. So like, what if this is just happening to all of us all the time? And that's what people are calling downloads. It's just people that are paying attention to their dreams. And when you wake up and I've had some ideas in a dream that I've written down or songs and stuff. And the next day I read them and they're absolute dog shit. But maybe there's been a couple that were pretty dang cool. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's possible that it comes through dreams and it's all in how you interpret it?
I think it could be, man. And that's why a lot of people write this stuff down. Like, a lot of people say, hey, look, you're probably not going to understand it, but if you have a thought or you have a dream and you wake up, write it down immediately. And it's not going to make sense. But over like a course of a few months, you start putting all these little ideas down in a book, and then you go back and you start looking at them and you're like, whoa, there's a little connection here between all of these little ideas that I had that originally made no sense. And maybe that's part of the puzzle, right? Like, if you do get the downloads, can you imagine the massive amount of information that they're giving you? Like, it would have to be little bits at a time, like, or you would die because you would like your head would explode. You probably wouldn't even be able to contain the information. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, people are like, well, why don't they just come down and tell us? Well, dude, they came down and they can't just tell you.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, how much time do you have? And even if they did tell you, would you be able to even understand the concept of what they're saying? Because you have no reference to the physics or the science or the reality that they live in the first place. It would make zero sense to you. It wouldn't even matter.
So I think if they did use dreams as a medium for communication, it would be easier to understand it because they can do anything in your dreams. You're limited with what your reality is, but in your dream world, anything, you know how it is. You something makes sense in your dream. The next day you wake up and you say it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe that's a way that they could use. It's basically like a cartoon. You can do anything you want if you were making a cartoon. You're limited if you're trying to make a drama. I mean, with human beings. So maybe dreams are a medium that they could use to easily communicate complex ideas to you. You're just not able to take them over to your daytime self.
Yeah, for sure. Especially dreams that like you notice people around you, but like you can't see their faces. Sometimes you have those dreams where like you feel like an outline, or like, you're talking to somebody and like you would think like maybe like subconsciously, like, who that person is, but like then you kind of turn and look and it's just like a foggy, like blurred out like figure, like maybe it is them and they're blurring themselves out to you so you can't see them. And they're like, hey, a guy named Jeff. I'm going to be Jeff in your dream. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'm talking to Jeff. And like, we're building a go-kart. And you look over there and you're like, you're not Jeff, but you feel like Jeff. So whatever,
So I feel like in that scenario, like the entity would be like, no, stop paying attention to what I look like. I'm not Jeff. Just pay attention to what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. You're like, Jeff, come over here. You're like, no, I'm giving you physics equations.
Stop thinking about it. Doesn't matter if it's Jeff or not. Just write this down. I'm trying to.
And
then
you wake up like an idiot, and you look over at your wife, and you're like, "Man, I had this crazy dream about Jeff last night," and they never visit you again because they were like, "It was useless. I gave him all this badass information. He just remembered."
What if we screwed up our chance already? Like, oh man, we didn't write it down. You were supposed to write it down. That was the one thing you were supposed to do.
What thing?
Yeah. Oh, do you remember as you talked to Jeff last night in your dream? It
was crazy, babe. I talked to like you're talking to your wife, like yeah. But so also like just speaking of like dream state, right? Like your brain is it theta or is delta? One of those. It's like one of the extremes, like the lowest frequency. In
Alpha,
a sense,
beta, chi.
Alpha, yeah, totally, dude.
Cappuccino.
Yeah.
Remember Cappuccino?
Britain's,
Yeah.
we had a buddy that they made up a frat called Cappuccino. Anyway, but like your brainwaves are in like a certain frequency and your consciousness is maybe riding along that frequency. So at that point, could it be considered not extraterrestrial, but extra dimensional at that point? Because if we're thinking of dimensions all being held together by frequencies and your consciousness is vibrating and flowing through a different frequency than your waking state, to me, you're kind of communicating with a extra dimensional being rather than like a person in a ship above the planet beaming down ideas to you.
Right. There's even studies, like people have studied this now and they're like, yeah, the brain works in like multiple dimensions.
Dude,
there are studies that it's Robert Penrose or Henry Penrose, I can't remember, he's a physicist that has delved into the world of is the brain a quantum computer for all intents and purposes. So it's your brain isn't fully understood at this point. So it could be that your consciousness and the quantum world are connected somehow via your brain because it's picked up or it's designed as a receiver for it. So if it is going to receive the consciousness signal, that might be why you are who you are, is because of the communication that you're getting through your brain. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I thought I'd be able to wrap that up in a bow, but it didn't work out so well.
How do you wrap up the secrets of the universe in a bow, Dan?
Yeah, dude. Welcome to the show.
It's a big ball of yarn that your grandmother gave to you. Like it's a big ball of yarn. She was never able to unravel it. You just inherited this ball of yarn. It's never going to be a bow.
Mm-hmm.
It's fuzzy.
Well, I hope somebody makes it into a blanket so I can cuddle up with it one day and feel very comfortable.
That's what we're doing here, dude. We're weaving a quilt, a friendship quilt.
A friendship quilt. It's the tree of trust.
And it could be tree shaped. Who knows? I don't know. We got a lot of colors.
Dan, dude, I love the thing you posted on our page. Your Let's Go Brandon video.
Yeah, that
can't
was
be cracking up, dude. It was hilarious.
That was an opportunity that presented itself. I couldn't pass on it. Like it was like, yeah, that's gotta happen.
And it's so great because like you're just like your demeanor of the whole thing. It's like it's perfect because it's like you're not very animated, but it's hilarious. So it makes it even more funny.
My hope was that at least one person says, this guy really doesn't know what it means. Like he doesn't have any clue. He thinks they're really cheering for Brandon Fugel. What is going on with this dude? He's an idiot.
Honestly, I saw
that guy was Ben.
I was me. I didn't get it.
It was that guy.
So someone had to explain it to you. Did Joe?
Yeah, Joe did before the show.
About 20 minutes ago.
I'm dumb.
That was great though, man. I love that. Like that the whole thing about that, like the site with like you can view the cameras and stuff, like that's so badass. That's gonna be so cool.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that the team at Skinwalker Ranch really is trying. That they are really putting money and effort into trying to figure out what's going on. I do feel like the delivery is overly dramatic. They say it's not scripted, but man, it is really hard for me to believe that show's not scripted. The way they never talk over each other. If you've noticed that, like we've talked over each other in this conversation about every 30 seconds. I've never seen them sitting around a table having a conversation and it not being perfect. One guy talks, pause. Next guy talks, pause. So I don't know how they can say it's not scripted, but I do feel that they are putting their best foot forward, trying to figure out how to document what's going on around them, because it's very difficult to document something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this is just a crazy idea I had, right? Do you think that you think they figured something out? Like enough? You think they figured out enough of like what's going on? And they're still keeping it pretty hush hush, but this is kind of like a way to like bring the public in. Like they're almost creating a zoo for the paranormal that you can visit. You know what I'm saying? Like not physically, but like, through the internet, they're opening this internet zoo that you can check in and check out what's going on in the paranormal world. Like they kind of have an idea and like they know what's going on. And they're like, yeah, we can show this to people now. Right. Because if you really didn't know what was going on, like, and you started showing stuff to people, like, what if you get something like really fucked up that like happened, like, and TV shows, especially, right? I mean, they're not going to air that stuff. So even if something like really fucked up did happen, but if you're watching like a live feed, like from like the website, if something crazy happens, like, are they going to want like Reddit to be the first people to report on that? I don't think so. So you would almost think that like maybe they almost have an idea or they caught something pretty big and they're just not saying anything about it, but they're comfortable enough to start letting the public like view this in a big way.
So this investigation on Skinwalker Ranch goes back probably 30 years at this point, where the Shermans sold it to Bigelow's company.
Mhm.
Bigelow's, I mean, I don't know how much money Brandon Fugel spent on it, but if you know anything about Bob Bigelow and his obsession with the paranormal and the amount of money that guy has, I can't imagine he's been outdone by Brandon Fugel yet. And if he got to the point where he's like, look, I'm going to give up on the ranch, I'm going to move on to something else, I'm not able to get to it, I'm going to hand the keys over to someone else, which that was the agreement. That was why, or one of the reasons why he sold it to Brandon Fugel. He's like, you are now a caregiver. You're the caretaker for this ranch now. You're not just some guy buying it to develop it for real estate. You are protecting this area now. So I think that's part of the transition. But I think that the only reason he would transition it is if he didn't think he could complete the job and figure it out for himself. So I have a hard time thinking that if Bigelow couldn't do it with Nids and all the guys he threw at it over the course of 20 years, they're going to have to take some more time to really figure out what's going on.
You said something interesting, Dan. The term protect. So protect the land. That would mean that there's something there that needs to be like, if it got in the wrong hands, or maybe it's a dangerous thing. Right.
Well, it could be both ways too. It could be that you're protecting the land from people and the people from the land, like whatever it is, because one of the things that is commonly reported with the people that have spent any duration of time there is the hitchhiker effect, which is terrifying. And which is why I don't think I'll ever be brave enough to go out there, is because you bring stuff home with you from the ranch. Poltergeist type activity occurs along the way home. When you get home, it impacts your family. So that's the line for me, is like, all right, I would go. And if I got scared, if I got traumatized, that's one thing. But for me to like voluntarily go and risk bringing something back, that's where I'm like, okay, I got to pump the brakes on that one then.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I had that same thought when we went out to Bradshaw Ranch. I was like, dude, what if we bring some like weird shit home with us? Like, we're just chilling here on Bradshaw Ranch right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's Skinwalker Ranch and then there's Bradshaw Ranch, right? Like Skinwalker's like the scary one and Bradshaw is kind of like the nicer one, except for that one has an underground military base underneath of it. So people still go missing, right?
So I need you to fill me in on what Bradshaw Ranch is, because I haven't heard of it yet.
Oh, dude. Okay, so Bradshaw Ranch is right outside of like Melinda Leslie took us out there. Her and Lorian and Jocelyn, they all took us out to Bradshaw Ranch, which is right outside of like Sedona, Arizona. It's about 30 minutes up the road, and it is also a ranch that is like highly like paranormal activity. And there's a lot of activity out there, lots like craft, spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them. This stuff happens out there. Yeah, high strangeness. Jocelyn actually has a phenomenal story, and she has some friends that can corroborate the whole thing, where they were walking around the fence line of Bradshaw Ranch, and she was like, I'm going to walk in there really quick, and I'm going to take some photos. She was like, I hopped the fence, and I was in there for about like 20 minutes. I was taking some photos, and then I came back over the fence, and I was trying to talk to my friend, and my friend wouldn't respond. Nobody would respond to me. And she's like, so I kind of walked around a little bit more. Like, I wasn't sure what was happening. And then whenever I came back again, the sheriff's department was out there and all her friends were freaking out. And she was like, what's going on? And they were like, Jocelyn, you have been gone for hours, like absolute like hours. Like you've been like 3 or 4 hours. You've been gone. And she was like, I literally just left for like 20 minutes. And they were like, no. And they called the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department came out and they were looking for her all over the ranch. Nobody could find her. But then she just showed up hours later and she was only gone for 20 minutes, like in her time. Right. And so like weird shit like this happens out there, man. Actually, what is it? Arizona State University or the University of Arizona?
University of Arizona.
They recently purchased parts of this ranch. And it used to be like a town, and now it's a ghost town. You can still see like the old houses out there that used to be there. Everybody moved. Everybody left.
We went in one of the buildings, dude. It was oddly enough, we didn't get a creepy vibe when we were there, but
that's because we had Jim Goodall with us, and he was like, man, this house looks like shit.
They called those support structures. What the hell?
What is going on in here?
Get me out of here.
Somebody can't spell correctly. They spray painted all over the fucking walls.
You mean to tell me we have to go underneath this damn barbed wire?
So we're laughing the whole time, having Jim Goodall with us. Melinda's just laughing her ass off. She's showing us stuff, and they've had like Bigfoot sightings out there, dude. They've had like a lot of crazy stuff. Like there's big ass footprints that are out there that they've like taken pictures of and like heard noises. So the military actually opened a little base. There's like an actual like underground military base that's there. And Melinda was like, okay, everybody stay together. People go missing out here all of the time. We're like, oh shit. We just kind of huddled up together, had our night visions on. We had like 2 crazy weird sightings out there. That was pretty neat. But yeah, Bradshaw Ranch is the other ranch from Skinwalker. It's a little more like nice, I guess you could say, than Skinwalker, but weird shit still happens out there.
Yeah. There's another one in Missouri that I learned about recently, and I've forgotten what the name of it is. It's on my TikTok channel. I can go back and watch it at some point, but it sounds like what you guys are describing as well. Like it's not Skinwalker Ranch, it's different, but that just means that there's at least 3 of those places in the United States, and there's probably more than that. And who knows how many locations there are that people don't visit. I mean, let's look at a map of the United States from the Mississippi West. Like there's a lot of area out there that isn't as populated as people want to think it is. So who knows what's out there that we don't know about on our own continent, in our own country.
Dude, Dan. Okay, so me, you, and Ben need to get together and we need to make a series, right? We need to film a series where we go ranch hunting. You know, we just look for weird shit on ranches and see if we can find the next Skinwalker Ranch. And we'll call it Hunt for the next Skinwalker Ranch.
Sounds like a genius plan to me. I'll drive.
Yes, dude. Can we take your cool ass Bronco?
No, we got to get an Enterprise van. What was it you guys drove?
Yeah, a Hertz van.
Hertz van.
Not comfortable at all.
Look, I'll do this only if you guys agree. We have to wear white turtlenecks the entire time.
Fuck yeah.
I'm just
and
saying.
Gold chains.
I'm just picturing it in my head. White turtlenecks.
Can we wear like white pants too? Like slim fit Wranglers, but
look, it doesn't matter as long as we all dress identical. It's gonna work out. Head to toe.
Like 3 dudes like investigating ranches, getting really dirty.
And we gotta wear shiny orange shoes.
All right, so like you mentioned turtlenecks and I mentioned chains. Have you guys heard Turtlenecks and Chains by the Lonely Island? Oh
yes, man, dude,
yes,
so good. Yeah, so damn good.
One of the most underrated rap groups of all time, without a doubt.
Like, honestly, yeah.
All right. I want to tell a story about missing time real quick. It's not mine.
Dude, yeah, let's do it.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Max Hawthorne? He's been on Dave Scott Spaced Out Radio before.
I think it's where I know the name from.
We love SOR.
And then I listened to him on another podcast like 2 days ago. He might be my favorite podcast interviewee ever. This guy, he wrote a book called Coronis Rising, and it's about a monster, a Leviathan from the deep coming up. So his obsession is traveling around the world, fishing, looking for underwater creatures that are mythological, more or less. Like he's the water crypto guy. And
That's
the guy is an excellent storyteller. He is hilarious. Like both times in the interviews that I've listened to him, his cat has walked in there and he like makes kissy noises to his cat, like in the middle of an interview. He doesn't doesn't care.
Yes, that's awesome, dude.
But he is a great storyteller, and he was asked about some of the things that he has had a hard time wrapping his mind around on this last interview. And he said he interviewed a guy that said he went snorkeling with his dad. So they got out on this island somewhere and they swam out a good distance. And he said, I went down, was looking at this reef, and all of a sudden I was just surrounded by a whole bunch of tiny little bubbles. I don't know where they came from. I didn't see them. I didn't see the source of them. And then I felt a little vibration. And so I was like, I don't know what that is. So he went back up to the surface.
My bubbles.
Like, where's my dad? And so then he ended up swimming back into shore, and he finally saw his dad was out there, and he looks at his dad pacing back and forth like he's looking for something. He gets back on to the shore. His dad sees him. He's like, where have you been? He's like, I just went out there and swam with you. How did you get back to the shore so fast? We were like far out. How did you get back so fast? He's like, you've been gone for like an hour and a half. So he didn't know where he had been for an hour and a half while he was underwater. And he said that when he started to get undressed to change into regular clothes, his dad said, what is that on your back? And he turned around, looked at it, and there were 3 dime-sized diameter and thickness holes in his back between his wetsuit and his skin, like that was in a perfect equilateral triangle pattern. And he, like I said, bubbles show up. He loses an hour and a half, and he's got these dime-size missing chunks of skin, like not like welts, like missing slivers of skin off of his back. And he's like, and my wetsuit is tight. There's no fish that can swim in between my wetsuit and my skin because it's meant to be snug and keep me warm. I don't know what it is. So he never was able to figure it out, but he was missing an hour and a half of time while underwater.
Crap, dude. See, that's why I don't go on the beach, dude. I don't even like that shit. I don't like the sand, but like now that just gives me another reason, dude, to like not go. And because I live like near the Gulf of Mexico, so it's not very pretty. It's more like oily and like
chocolate milk water.
It's just chocolate milk water. And the last time I went to the beach, something chewed on my toe, and it scared me, and I had to leave. And then like I got to the shore and it was bleeding, and then it started to hurt real bad, and I went back to the hotel room, and I didn't even get to chill on the beach because something bit my toe. I was pissed, dude. I was so mad. I don't like the beach, man. Dude, hey, really quick. Ashley wanted us to discuss what's happening in December, dude. So just real quick, I just wanted to put this out there for everybody. December 4th, we're having Terry Lovelace coming down, and he's going to be hanging out with us at the Black Sparrow out here in Taylor, Texas. We're going to be chilling. It's from 6 to 10. We're going to have like a nice little intermission. Terry's going to be there. It's like a little meet and greet. You can get a little book from him if you want to. Yeah, man. I mean, he's just going to come and hang out with us. He's going to tell his story. This is going to be a pretty neat little thing. I actually have no idea how it's going to go over. So like out in this area, from what I've gotten from my Facebook post, there's quite a few people in this area who have seen some weird shit. So I'm kind of wondering if possibly this is going to spark some interest. Nothing like this has ever taken place out in this area. So we're going to be the first to do it, man. It's going to be really, really cool and really exciting. They got a food truck out in the back, so don't worry about food. You can go grub. They got beers, dude. And then if you run out of beers at the Black Sparrow, you can go across the street to the brewery and get some more beers, dude. And then right down the street is a cigar shop. So it's going to be a good time, man. We're going to be hanging out. We might do a little filming. We're going to go live while we're live, dude. So it's going to be the UFO Garage live show, dude.
Live, alive.
Yeah, dude, because we're all alive too.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
it's gonna be good times. Ashley, I definitely recommend coming down, grab you a hotel, and come say what's up to us, dude. Meet
Yeah.
Terry. It's gonna be a good time, man. We're gonna have some fun for sure. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah, dude.
I'm excited about that. Also, Greg is in the chat, and I just wanted to let everybody know that Greg, as a young man, looked exactly like Dimebag Daryl. It's great.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He sent me a picture the other day, dude.
That's what's up.
Along with
dude.
like his Van Halen and like Bruce Springsteen like concert menus that he got. His program menus. They're badass.
shit.
They look really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Well,
All
hey,
right, so
while
are you guys going to make some posters to put up around town for advertising that would be collector's items in the future? Is that
Yes.
part of the
got
plan?
to. We got
Yes,
to.
dude. Definitely. I plan on I don't have a printer. I might have to go to my mom's house. Fool.
Wait, why would you print them out like a regular printer paper?
Yeah, dude.
That's
I'm gonna
like
have to-
ultimate guerrilla marketing.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to the library, the public library. I actually have a library card, dude. Check this out, bro. Like, I went down there and I was like, "Hey, I want to rent these books." And she was like, "Yeah, you can check them out." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I meant. Check out these books." And she was like, "Yeah, you have to." She was like, "You have to get this
Yeah, you
sweet
would
ass
have to
library
check it
card."
out.
So I got it, and it's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. It's got a little guy in the middle of the state of Texas wearing a cowboy hat and a bandana reading a book, which is so Texan, right? But hell yeah. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to print these out. Hopefully they don't charge me too much for using color.
I mean, I'm just glad you're not. I mean, don't buy a printer just to do this thing. Although, just buying replacement ink is just as expensive as buying a new printer.
That drives me crazy.
Isn't that nuts? You know,
Like,
you guys
and
know
your
this,
printer
right?
breaks after you've gone through one cartridge worth of ink. Like it just starts to print like crap after 7 sheets.
It starts to be like, I don't know what Wi-Fi is. I don't. Just plug me in. Plug me in. Actually,
Stop connecting to my neighbor's house.
yeah.
Yes, dude.
But dude, shit, we're talking about our event, guys. Yes, December 4th. Try to make it down. Also, back up, Dan. If you can find a babysitter, bro.
I got a wife. She can take care of that. She wants me out of the house more often anyway. So I'm sure she's going to encourage it.
I don't know. I didn't know if you were joking about trying to make it down. And it's kind of a long drive. So it would have to be, but bro.
Oh yeah, I'm flying. There's no way I'm
Okay.
I checked. It was like 14 hours. I'm like, my
Yeah.
butt doesn't have that kind of patience.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get Big Willie to come down if he can. I mean, I sent him the invite. I mean, I haven't talked to Chad yet, but Chad Smith, I mean, you're not too far from Willie. Why don't you guys just buy the same plane ticket and then
Dude, or get a Hertz parachute van, dude.
or get a Hertz parachute? I don't know. It would be badass to have the crew down, man. I mean, shit. If you guys make it out, the clouds would open up, and I'm pretty sure we'd see a UFO, all of us together, dude.
How hilarious would it be if like nobody local showed up and it was just like 5 people all from out of state?
It could be that.
It could be. It could be. We're not promising anything, but we think it's going to be awesome. There was like a paranormal event that happened last year, and dude, there were so many people that couldn't even fit inside.
Yeah.
So we're going to take it a notch higher, and we're going to actually show photos of shit, right?
Yeah.
That like Terry's come in contact with, and like a lot of his evidence. He's going to have his book. He's going to tell the story. I mean, we've got military involvement. I mean, the guy was an EMT dude, like for the military, and like, even like his higher ups have seen stuff. Like, it's crazy.
And he's an ex attorney general, dude. Like, he's a legit
for the islands of Samoa, bro.
Hey. So,
you guys were in a band. Have you played a venue larger than the place that you're going to be putting this live show on? Like, I don't know what your background exactly is.
Yeah. Remember that time when we opened for Los Lonely Boys?
Los Lonely Boys, dude.
Hell yeah.
And then Afro Man. We opened up for Afro Man.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. And the Dirty Heads.
Yeah. Patriot.
That was pretty cool. And then Kevin Fowler. Remember
We
Kevin
opened-
Fowler?
hey,
we
we
opened that
opened up
festival for Kevin
hey,
Fowler.
His full name is Kevin fucking Fowler, man.
Kevin fucking Fowler, dude.
Yeah.
Beer, bait, and ammo, baby.
I'll tell you what now.
That was a big ass stage. That was so much fun.
Yeah, that was
There was
sick.
so much room for activities, man.
So much kicking.
Yeah. We don't really talk about it, but we did some pretty cool big stuff, dude.
Yeah,
like
we did
as
we
the
did.
band, you know. And then we were like, I think we want to get married now.
And then all of us proceeded to get married.
We're like, you know what? We don't even like money. Let's get married instead and like have less money. It was a good move. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what we did.
Long game. You got to play the long game, guys.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. My bass guitar is not gonna make me sandwiches, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, my bass
Not
guitar,
alone.
you know, I can't like. I mean, I make love to it, but like I can't make love to my bass guitar. You know, the input jack is way too small.
Are you sure?
Yes, Dan.
Don't lie, dude.
Yes, Dan. It's a 1/4 inch. It fits a 1/4 inch. All right. I'm not really sure what the next fraction up from that is, but yeah. I'm a half inch at least, dude. Shit. So yeah, it won't fit. It's still small, but it won't fit. I promise.
Yeah, you tried it.
Yes, dude. Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to everything I can to get down there because like I've been hanging out with you guys for 2 years. I guess it's been 2 years now.
Dude, it has.
I was there like when you first dropped the first 3 ones, so I've been there since the beginning.
Yes,
I didn't know that you were there for the first 3, bro. That's sick.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
that's so awesome, man. So we've known you basically since we started this damn thing.
I've known you that long. You haven't known me that long. I was just that weird guy posting stuff on your Facebook group for a long time.
We met Dan like 8 months later.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Through email.
Well,
Unidentified Celebrity Podcast Review Podcast is here. Lou likes to party. Hey, Lou
likes to party.
We'll come to Taylor, bro.
Yeah, well, dude.
Hang out with us. Let's get the crew together.
I remember the very first time I communicated with you guys. It was an email, and I was like, dudes, Corey Good, you're going to have to get off of that, or else I'm not going to be able to listen to you.
That's right. That's right. Because, dude, that like sparked our whole like, back it up. Because we had been talking about it like, oh, shit, this stuff was kind of talking. We just didn't want to come from a place of like talking shit on anybody. And not that you were
like we knew it was like kind of like there was some fuckery in it, but like it was so like outrageous of a story that it was like, let's just talk about it and we'll make fun of it and call it like slinky hats and shit and like talk about the Space Force uniform. So yeah, because I mean like like the guy's full of shit, dude, but like those stories came from somewhere. Right?
Have you seen him lately, by the way? He looks terrible, man.
Yeah. What do you lose? Like 1,000 pounds?
Yeah.
He only like weighed like maybe 180 pounds to begin with or some shit. Like he looks freaking weird, bro. It's like the Corey Feldman, like of the UFO community.
Yes, that is an excellent celebrity cameo.
Yes.
I wonder if he's gonna start a band called Corey Good's Angels.
And Airwaves.
Have you seen Airwaves?
Oh my god, yes.
The Blue Chicken Band. The Blue Chicken People. Yes. Remember we had Olaf Phillips and he was like, I want a t-shirt that says I believe in the Blue Chicken People. Olaf is great, dude. I fucking love that guy. Oh, Olaf, it started like this radio station where like people can call in. And his very first episode, he was live and it was on YouTube. And he was trying to get people to call in, and he was like, I'm having some technical difficulties. Give me a second. I'm gonna go see if I can fix it. And it was like dead air for like 35 minutes. And I was like, is he trolling us right now? What is happening? And then he came back on and he was like, all right, I fixed it. He was like, going on to our next caller. Like, didn't skip a beat. It was hilarious. It was the most funniest thing ever. And it wasn't supposed to be funny, I'd assume. But
I love
it
that.
was
like,
great.
No apology. Dude.
Yeah. It was like, and for our next caller. And then they were like, Olaf, hey, man, we've known each other for years. And I just had to call into your show. It was so great. I loved it.
All right. So Olaf was on Jimmy Church's show one time.
Yeah.
And great interview, fine, everything. But one thing that I do not understand about Jimmy Church's show is that the first 3 to 4 minutes of every podcast is dead air. Like, why don't you edit that out? Like, every time you skip forward 4 or 5 minutes before you actually start hearing anybody talk. I don't understand how that level of a show has that much dead air in the beginning.
Dave Scott's used to do that shit too on Spreaker. There was like this dead air for like 4 minutes, and I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Yeah, like I'm turning my volume up on my phone. Like, is it my earbuds? What's going on?
Yes,
I think it does something. It has something to do with like being on the radio, right? Like there used to be some like the podcast was just, and we're doing the podcast. Like it was more geared toward radio, right? Like Dave fixed that like a few months back, or maybe like a year now. But like, yeah, like the dead air. I remember when I first started listening to SOR and Fade to Black, kind of around the same time, like that dead air shit. Like I would be watching on YouTube, like so stoked, and I felt so alone for so long. It's like,
Unidentified Celebrity Review says those are commercial breaks, and I didn't even think about that, dude. So like if you are on the radio, they're playing commercials on the radio, and you just can't hear it because nothing's happening. Everybody's got to be quiet.
It doesn't do that during the rest of the show, though. The rest of the show,
you're so smart, bro.
Commercials in the commercials.
I don't know. I have no idea.
So my favorite part of Spaced Out Radio has become the commercial breaks, like where they're like, all right, we're going to wrap, or we've come to a commercial break. And then they start talking. The best ones are when someone doesn't get told that they're being recorded. And they're like, I gotta go take a leak. Like that is the absolute best part of the show, when someone gets caught off guard like that. And then he's like, oh yeah, I should have told you we're being recorded still. People can hear you. That's the best part of the show, though, in my opinion. My favorite part. It's a quality product all around, but I like that part.
Oh yeah, man. It's always the mess ups, right? It's always the mess ups that you want to see. You know what I'm saying?
It's so candid. It's like it's them in their true self and their true form, and is how I interpret it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people go and to the rodeo, right? But everybody wants to see a bull mess somebody up, right? People go to snake shows, right? But everybody wants to see somebody get bit, right? These are very Southern examples I'm giving you. I apologize.
So
everybody loves
Texas.
NASCAR.
Y'all ain't never been to a rattlesnake roundup?
Everybody loves NASCAR, but everyone wants to see the crash. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the fun part. So yeah, I get it. Same thing with the radio, dude. I love those little mix-ups and stuff. That's why I listen. Like, I'll listen to like news, even though like it makes me want to like, put one between the eyes by the end of the day. But I just love like talking, like talk radio and stuff. And like, I love the mess ups that happen. You catch them and you're like, what a special day it was today. I caught the mess up on the radio. This is great. Fabulous. Nothing can ruin my day now.
I know it's not a mess up, but can we play the fart again?
The fart? What fart?
Yeah, Williams.
Williams fart?
Did you know about this?
I saw, I think it was on the Facebook group page. I saw that.
Okay. And then we got to get back to the show after this. Okay.
One more time.
Okay, one more time. Oh my God, dude. It's so funny.
I do see someone on camera. Perfect. I'm going to bring in, I don't actually know who this is. So I'm right there with a finger, just in case, right? You never know what we're going to get. I'm just kidding. The fairies are way too high maintenance. Agreed, Len. They're a bit needy. They're kind of sus. I'm just saying.
Sus me.
Here we go. Willie, named Willie here. Willie, how's it going tonight? Thank you for hopping on the garage here and hopping on the van with old Blue with me tonight. How are we doing?
Dude, like, what a champion. William, you're a champion. Like, I would have fucking lost it.
You can tell by the reverb that was recorded in a bathroom, or that was performed in a bathroom. You can hear it bouncing off the tiles.
Dude, I know. That's why I think that little plop at the end when he's like, I got one more thing to say, and then there's like a plop. I think he like took a shit. in the toilet and recorded it. So yeah, that's why I feel like that's what it is, because I could hear like just
At least he's being authentic. I mean, if you're gonna commit, go all the way.
At least he's like giving us some original content, man.
Oh my god, man, that's hilarious, dude.
Oh my god,
Big Willie likes to party for sure. He does like to party.
He said it called him the Phantom Farter.
Let's see, hold on. I wanted to know what sus meant, and Big Willie said it. He said sus equals take a drink when I say it. LOL. Oh. No, that's not what sus means. That's just what you're supposed to do. What does it mean?
I think it means suspect.
Yeah, if you had kids that were between the age of 12 and 6, you would already know what that is. That's from Among Us, the video game. You guys don't know what Among Us is?
Oh, the Chungus Among Us?
No, it's a video game where it's like got real popular about last year. It's this game where you interact with other people online and you all go around doing chores on this space station, but there's one murderer. And you have to try to, as a team, figure out who the murderer is, because you don't tell, like someone gets picked at random that's playing. And so everybody says like, they call them by their colors, like pink is sus. Like, I think she's the one that's the murderer. And then you can accuse them. And if you get it wrong, you get booted from the space station. Like my kids have play that thing constantly for about a year straight, but they've moved on to Roblox now.
Oh, right on. Cool, dude. No, I had no idea. That sounds kind of fun, actually. I kind of like that.
Well, they've made parodies with like real people on YouTube it's pretty funny.
That's awesome. Chris Holm called your guest William. His name is King Toot.
King Toot,
Guitar Slinger, Fungus Among Us, one of the greatest Incubus albums of all time, by the way. Fungus Among Us, pretty killer.
Isn't King Toots the name of the store that Lisa Simpson got her saxophone from? I want to say it's King Toots.
Dude,
that's dope.
I think you're right. I didn't even think about that. Holy crap. That's amazing. Shit, that's awesome. Your references are amazing, Dan.
I was kind of obsessed, you could say.
Who couldn't be? I mean, it was like the greatest thing since South Park.
Oh,
you know,
since South Park. What are you talking? Well, it precedes
before South Park is what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm like 2 cups in. I apologize.
2 cups of alien juice.
Yeah, 2 cups of alien juice, dude. Oh man.
So I have a question, a leading question, Dan, for you, bro. Just based off of our convo, it was like the reason I was like, Dan, you gotta come on tonight is I think this idea that you had, man, is awesome, and I just kind of want to get into it a little bit if you can, bro. But I'll ask this: where is the line between our physical world and our conscious world?
Okay, so this hypothesis came at 9:45 to 10:30 last night. So this is the first time I've tried to recount it in live form. So I might struggle a little bit, but we'll go with it and see where it takes us. But I was listening to Lou Elizondo's recent interview with Thomas Fessler, and he started getting asked questions about fractals.
Okay.
And so when you think, if you don't know what fractals are, they're basically mathematical patterns that repeat themselves in nature, no matter what the scale is. Like if you look at the pattern a hurricane makes, it's the same pattern that a galaxy is going to take. A spiral galaxy will make, like the Fibonacci code, basically.
Like if you take a Dave Scott and then turn it for infinity, it creates a fractal, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah. like a pine cone, snowflakes, things like that.
He hates that term.
But so basically Lou was getting to, hey, there's some underlying rules that apply to everything, no matter how large or how small. And so that got me thinking about, well, big stuff. And then what if we get to small stuff? And then the question started to come in about what does quantum physics have to do with the UFO situation? So that made me start trying to connect the dots there. So more or less the hypothesis that I've come up with is with everything being interconnected the way it is by this underlying knowledge or programming that we have, the fractals, if we take it from the galactic view and we start moving smaller, we get to the planetary level, we get to the human level, we go down to the molecular level, the subatomic level, the quantum level, and that's as far as we know how to go as far as being small in our physical world. A lot of people are talking about the borderline between consciousness. When I say a lot of people, Tom DeLonge has recently said that the borderline between our consciousness and our physical world is where the UFOs present themselves. So as we drill down in size from the galactic to the quantum, what if we're moving towards a tipping point? So if you get in a car and you drive north, at some point you're going to start driving south. It's that very transition. Like you're not going to notice you're doing anything different. It's just going to be all of a sudden you go from one state to another state. You're going north, and then all of a sudden you're going south because you hit that tipping point. So what if there's a connection between our physical, our quantum mechanical, quantum physics world and our quantum consciousness world? And it's at that level that we transition. And it's just like the melting of an ice cube. Like at some point you go from one state to another state. And as we drill down into the quantum physical world, we hit that tipping point, and then we transfer over into the quantum consciousness world. Well, if it is as above, so below, it would make sense that then you could continue to increase in the consciousness world from there. So you would go from quantum consciousness to subatomic consciousness to human consciousness to planetary consciousness to galactic consciousness. So it would match, and the two systems are more or less intertwined with themselves. And that's how we have consciousness in our physical being. So just a theory I'm throwing out there just to see if it gets any traction. But my goal is to make a more well thought out video about this for my TikTok channel, so I can drive it home and polish it a little bit more.
Dude, I like that. I may be completely misunderstanding this, but it kind of makes me think like, so dude, like when we start to observe, like we as humans, when we go into like the molecular level and start observing, or the subatomic level and we start observing, or even in the quantum realm, we start observing whatever's in those other realms, right? When we show up and we start looking, they're like looking up in their sky and they're like, what is that light? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're going to like this fractal, like you're coming into these different realms.
It's
you know
Mrs. Frizzle.
Like it's weird, dude. Like I mean, it's like these UFOs in like this different realm, and then they're like observing our physical realm. But well, like us,
I'm assuming you've heard of the observer effect.
Yes,
like that's what I feel like you're describing. Like
yeah, kind of. But like like I mean I don't know. Like I'm assuming like when we start looking into like the microscopic world and things that are very, very tiny, I think of like Horton Hears a Who, right? Where it's like these who's live on this tiny little plant, right? And it's a whole world of who's, but this one who starts like observing like Horton, and he's like, whoa, somebody's up there. Somebody's trying to communicate with us. Like, can anybody else hear this thing? And everybody's like, you're crazy. Get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. But then finally, the whole world of like the who's like start to understand that like, oh God, there's like a whole nother realm of possibility out there. And this guy isn't crazy. He sees this giant elephant up in the sky. It's kind of like a good like representation of kind of like what we're going through right now. Like something up there is observing us, and we're just a bunch of little who's like living on this tiny little plant. And this thing is looking at us and like observing and trying to figure out what's going on. And we're like, oh, there's a couple of us who are turning on to the fact that there's something up there. Like there's a giant elephant up there observing us and like taking maybe like, I don't know if taking care of us, right? But like in the story, Horton Hears a Who, he takes this little plant and he like holds onto it and tries to protect it from all these other things that are coming around. And nobody understands what's going on down in Whoville, right? They're just like, oh my God, there's an earthquake happening, but it's just the wind blowing, right? You know, on this bigger scale. And so Horton tries to protect it from the wind so they don't hurt themselves and stuff like that. I don't know. And then we go to like our level of like the human level and we start observing tiny things like cells and stuff like that. Like we just assume that they're this autonomous thing that's just like going on like in our bodies and around the world, like all these like little things. But like we don't know what kind of like lifestyles they live. We know what they do, but we don't know. Like, we really don't know. Like, do they have a lifestyle? You know, like what's going on down there? Like, how are they communicating? What is their consciousness like? Like, what is happening? So it's almost kind of like, dude, there's like this other bigger thing out there. They're trying to figure out the same thing. I rambled. I apologize.
Well, my question to you is, if consciousness goes down and like the smaller we get, there's still consciousness there. Does it go up from here as well? Is the planet conscious? Is the solar system conscious? Yes, just on a different level.
I think it is.
I have an idea
in a different way.
If it goes smaller, and we're talking about fractal, everything being a fractal, even if consciousness is fractal, if it goes smaller, it's got to go bigger. You know? So I mean, and that's just total speculation, right?
So small or bigger is all relative, I think. When we're talking about frequencies, we're talking about sine waves. So if we're thinking about like a guitar, for instance, you have the 12 frets and an octave starts over at that 12th fret. It's the same sine wave, just the exact amount, double or whatever number that is. It's the same number. Whatever key you're playing in or note you're playing is based on the timbre. So like an A in 420 hertz sounds like a regular A note to us, but that's all relative. Like if your ear canal were bigger, if your eardrum were just a little bit larger, you would interpret that timbre as a lower frequency. So it all goes back to that sensor idea. When we talk about like the FLIR cameras, like, yeah, just because we caught these UFOs on this one sensor doesn't mean it didn't look badass on another sensor that could possibly sense something that we just don't even know how to sense yet. I kind of rambled at the end there, but like that tipping point, Dan, I kind of picture that as like on a guitar, you know, your 12 frets, you're starting over. And if you ever heard of like pinch harmonics with a guitar, so if you like put your finger and lightly hold it over the 12th fret and you pluck it really lightly, you'll play this harmonic. They're called harmonics. So you hear a bunch of different tones in that same sine wave, and you hear like a spectrum of that frequency. It doesn't sound like an open E anymore. It splits it in a bunch of different ways. So maybe that's where the magic happens. That's why we are so interested in it. Maybe something cool happens and is able to slip through.
Every time Zach Wild throws a fucking pitch harmonic, dude, on the guitar, he's like exploding universes everywhere.
Yeah, bro. Yes.
All right. So I had a guy ask me a question about, do you think aliens or extraterrestrials, other non-human intelligences would have music? And I'll tell you, my answer was, if they're smarter than us, they have to be pretty good at math, and math and music are intertwined. From what I know, I'm not a musician, but from everything I know, like math and music go hand in hand. Like you can describe music through math and math through music. So I would think that they have music of some sort. I don't know what it would be, but
it would be math rock.
What do you guys think? Yeah,
absolutely.
It would be like Tool. They love Tool, dude.
I feel like remember
Opeth.
Not like remember, but like Beethoven. Remember, there's like this famous line that people didn't like his music because there was too many notes.
Yeah,
you know, like that's how I would equate like that feeling. Not that his music is alien, but it would be alien to us now. Like imagine a song with too many notes now. Like I don't know even what that would be. I guess maybe there was a time it kind of moves with the generation. Maybe dubstep might be one of those, but it's got to sound pretty crazy. We're almost like maybe it sounds just like a wall of sound to us, but to an alien with a different sized eardrum or a different sensor, it would sound.
Well, if they don't even, if they are telepathic, would they have physical or audible music, or would it be all between telepathic?
So, okay.
Dude, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Can I? Okay. So the idea of music for me is me. It's me getting my emotions out. So that's how I communicate with other people in a lot of ways, is through music. It's like I'm terrible at words. I have a freaking podcast, but like with music, I can get the emotion across where I can't do with words in the English language or whatever. Just because I don't read, but like just, but like that idea of the alien or an entity being able to communicate telepathically. Why would they even need music to communicate those emotions? Right? Is that kind of what you meant?
They could start a band and they just sit in silence and just have a jam night telepathically. I can tell you right now, I sing a lot better in my head than I do in real life. So maybe I'd be able to hang with them.
Yes.
Dude, that means that we should all start a band and not play any instruments. We just go on stage. And then we explain to people that it's art because we're doing it telepathically.
Oh, you can't hear that?
Yeah, you can't hear that? You're lame, dude. We start calling people posers. Yeah, they're like, oh, I can hear that. Like, you're such a poser, dude. Dude, yes, man.
Thank you, Chad Smith. That's very kind.
He's the best.
Yeah. Chad Smith is the freaking best.
He does all of he does the research.
All right. So when I look at the live chat, I see little wrenches, little blue wrenches. Is that a moderator, or what are those little blue wrenches in the live chat mean?
Yeah. So they can like block people. Like we had a troll earlier. They were able to, Big Willie was on fast fingers able to, I don't know if y'all saw that. That was pretty bad. So he was able to like take down that comment. Sometimes you get some salty sardines in the chat. So that we have some trusted people in our little crew. So yeah, wrench up, says Big Willie. Yeah, dude.
So dude, we were talking about like what if aliens are telepathically like making music, right? But on an earthly level, I just had this conversation with somebody the other day, and like how much music has changed, right, into a very digital form. And we go from tribalism that's just like drums and like cool like flute sounds and stuff, and then we evolve into this brass era where we start getting big band music, and we start hearing horns and things, and then all of a sudden we start getting stringed instruments that are like more so incorporated, and like we have these woodwinds, and then we evolve into electrical stuff, right? And then you get the electric bass, and we start incorporating like real loud drums, and then we get like all the way up into like then we're talking like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s, and then we start getting into this like techno area, where there's like techno music, and now we have house music and dub music, and like there's all dubstep and what's the newest form of like wow music? What's that shit called?
Mumble rap.
Yeah, mumble rap, but I guess it's still dubstep. I don't know, dude. Dubcore. I don't know, dude.
Well, I when I think of Texas, I think of Chopped and Screwed.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
that's what we're known for, man. Yeah. That and swing country. But yeah, man, so we were having this conversation a while back, me and my mother-in-law, and we were talking about music and just how it's like how it's changed, and like how we all have like all those kids, their music today, right? Like, and it just changes throughout the era. But you notice like a big change like in the like kind of like 80s and on, where you start getting a lot of electronic music. And I was wondering if electronic music affects people differently than like handmade instruments, right? Woodwinds, brass, strings, drums, things like that. How like when you listen to the blues, right? It hits your soul, right? You listen to some Zeppelin tunes and it hits your soul, right? You listen to some old Hank Williams and it hits your soul. Like, why does it hit your soul? And nowadays, when you listen to like things like dubstep or like electronic music, right? There's not like a lot of soul to it, right? So I'm wondering if older music connects to a soul on like a primal level and newer electronic music connects to frequencies in the brain. It's affecting the brain on a different level than like handmade instruments would affect like a soul, you know?
Yeah,
And
well, I guess
that's
it's the difference between like organic food and GMO
processed food.
food. Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe that's the difference in traditional music, like man-made music versus electronic music.
Yeah, dude.
I think
It's organic.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something, Joe.
Like, why doesn't it speak to your soul? Like, yes, you can listen to dubstep and like go to a concert and like everybody jumps up and down and like they have this like this energy going, right? It's still an energy, but it's not like a soul energy.
Yes.
It's more of like a brainwave energy.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a show that I did not really dig, like house music. It was Major Lazer. I fucking loved it, dude. Like the everybody there was having a great time, fucking dancing. I mean, I did not expect myself to enjoy it as much as I did.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, dude.
Fuck your couch, dude. But like, dude, it was like live. It was actually pretty dope. But I resonate with that, Joe, because I didn't feel it in my soul. I felt it like more in my brain, like I was connected to people in a different way. Cut to like Weezer, bro. I know this isn't blues, but like Weezer was also there. This was at this music festival in Houston a couple years back. Weezer played, and like all this emotion, like this soul emotion, dude, like from childhood, and like there's just, I don't know how to describe it, but it hit me in a different way where I connected. Not everybody was dancing, but we're kind of, you know, white people dancing. Like it was
doing the white boy shuffle.
But yeah, it was two totally different vibes. I think you're onto something, Joe. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So like if once like where do we go from dubstep and that mind connection, we go from like soul connection. Well, dude, you take it back even to like the Native Americans and like African tribes and like even like the ancient Chinese, right? And the Indian culture. I mean, the notes that they were able to create were like blasphemous in some countries, right? So like you go from a spiritual connection from the origins, right? That was very spiritual. Then you go to the soul connection, which is more a little bit modern, right? And then you get into this weird like brainwave activity when it comes to music. Like, where do you go from there? And Dan, you talking about like, what if it's all telepathic? Like, kind of sparked that idea. Like, oh shit, like that's almost like the next step, right? It's like spiritual, soul, brain, telepathic. Like, what's next? What's gonna come after that? And if you're into music, everybody asks themselves that, right? What's next? Like, what's the next thing? What could you possibly do, right? That's gonna be different, and that's something completely different.
Well, maybe changes in progression in music is us getting closer to the tipping point for telepathy at some point in the future as well.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It could be, man. It could be.
And, real quick, I want to make one comment about the music touching your soul. I do agree with what you're saying, Joe. Like the older music is, I don't know if it's more authentic or what, but I remember going to a Native American festival when I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and they had dudes dressed up like traditional clothing, and they were singing, they were dancing, and I mean, they're stomping the ground. Like, we couldn't understand a single word they were saying, but I mean, it got my wife crying. It was so authentic and real, like that touched her soul, even though she has no idea what they were saying. But it was just like the emotion, the organic nature of their music, and the representation of themselves in it is what touched her so deeply.
Dude, I love that, man.
Yes.
I mean, I got chills just listening to you tell that story.
Yeah.
It's a similar story, dude. Yeah, like my wife and I are on our honeymoon. Same deal. Like listening to this music from a language we don't know what they're saying, but the tones and the notes. I feel like I've never heard those notes put in the way that they were made. And yeah, we would get teary-eyed every time we would hear this song. So dude, I relate to that so much, bro. So what are you guys' thoughts about the connection between all these ancient sites, including like Stonehenge being almost like reverberating, meant for music kind of sites?
They were like the original amphitheaters, dude.
Yeah. So do we know what that means yet? Or do you guys have any speculations on it?
Man, there's so much complexity in the ancient megalithic structures. And to me, it's really hard to gauge because of how I feel like a lot of them have changed. Like Stonehenge probably isn't what Stonehenge was. I'm not the guy to ask when it comes to frequencies and things like that, but I'm obsessed with the stuff, but I just don't know a whole lot about the musical or frequency generating parts of those. But yeah. Brian Forrester does. Like, he goes into the the King's Chamber in the pyramid and will and he just resonates in there. So I don't know it, but that's one gentleman that I'll take his word for what he's experiencing, what he's seeing, is Brian Forrester. Jimmy with Bright Insight is traveling around with him right now.
Yes,
but that's the guy. That's Brian Forrester. If you don't know who that is.
I thought that sounded familiar. Yeah,
but man, he goes to all these sites, and that's one of the things that he does is he checks them for frequency, and he just goes around and making noises, and he's like, this one's set at this level, and it's different. It's just really interesting to see. Like, it's really hard for me to comprehend how they would have thought ahead during the construction of those megalithic structures for the end product to have a resonance or a frequency that's related to it. That's crazy.
Also, they line up with the stars.
Yeah.
Question from Big Willie. I also have a feeling about this, Joe. Everything going digital may not be the best. We can no longer feel the real vibration from the cords in our body and on our aura and energy. What do you think? So
I think it's, dude, I think so. So this is that cool like Hertz thing, right? Where like during World War II, they changed the frequency of Hertz that is played through music. And like, even the Nazis did the study on it. We're like, hey, if we change the Hertz, you can actually make the human brain a little more on edge and uneasy and things like that. And so nowadays, like our TVs, our radios, everything runs at this new frequency that makes you edgy. What is it? The 425 Hertz is like the original where like everything feels good, and that's where it's supposed to be, and it matches with your brain waves. But this Hertz that we run everything on now is not that. It's like it's a weirder, like edgier kind of like Hertz thing going on. And I don't know if you remember this, dude, but a funny story. And it's probably just because I'm so used to hearing things in that way. But remember when we went to Phoenix to the first UFO Congress that we went to, right?
Yeah.
And I put those headphones on, and they were like, all right, listen to this. And they were like, pick a song. And I picked Flashlight by Parliament, and I was like, let's do it. And we started jamming. I was like, this is the shit, dude. And then they were like, now listen to this. And then I listened to it on the other headphones, and they were like, which one did you like? And I was like, I like the first one. And they were like, Oh,
Oh,
well, you're supposed to like the second one. That's the
What are the-
425 hertz. And I was like, oh, well, the second one sounded really nice too. You know, like I was trying to play it. I was trying to be nice, but like I liked the first one. And it's like, because like maybe like we grew up in a generation that's all we've ever heard. We don't listen to the 425 hertz. We've never heard it. The older generation has heard it, but how am I supposed to know like what the difference is, you know?
right.
But then, I started listening to some of the 425 stuff, and I don't know if it really makes a difference because we're so bombarded by the other one that is standard now, right?
Yeah.
But that has a lot to do with it.
It's
That has a lot to
432 versus, I'm looking it up right now, dude.
That's what it is. 432.
432 versus 440.
That's what it is. Not 420.
But
I'm a pothead.
Oh, shit.
Like 420.
But I've heard there's like another one though. There's like another tuning. I could be wrong.
It's
but
like 532 or some shit. It's weird.
Well, on
Or 520.
any guitar tuner that you get, you can select between a couple different frequencies, and I was like, what the? Why would I ever need that, dude? But yeah, that's cool. So you like the first one?
I did. I was just kind of like, oh, that sounds good, right? And I really wasn't thinking about it because I didn't realize that that's the experiment they were doing on me.
What do you think about that, Dan? Do you think there's like it could be possible that maybe we're more subjective to I don't know, influence based off of the hertz of music and radio television that we listen to? You think
So
that's a possibility?
the thing that screws with my head is when they put the plate of sand above a speaker and they play different frequencies and it makes different patterns.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Cymatics.
know. What is it called?
Cymatics.
Like whatever it is that causes that to happen to the sand has to cause something to happen to our molecules at a level. I don't know how to explain it or comprehend it, but if it's impacting physical objects like that in such a dramatically different way, those same wavelengths and frequencies are passing through us. So it's got to have an impact. What it is, I don't know, but to me, that's the evidence of the value of it,
Right.
or the proof of it, maybe.
We take it. Go for it, Ben. Sorry.
No, dude. I give me a minute. You go.
Okay. I was gonna say. So now we go into like some woo-woo shit, right? Like the sound healing, the frequencies, the sound healing. If we're talking about cymatics and the way that it can affect sand, why couldn't it affect the molecules in your body the same way? Why is sound healing woo-woo now, right? Is it just woo-woo because people don't understand cymatics, which is science and math, right? If they did know about that, would it make the sound healing frequencies make more sense to the human body? Because if they're actually pushing these frequencies at positive frequencies onto your body, why wouldn't it be able to heal you? A lot of negative frequencies running through your body, whether they're like electric or sound or whatever it is, could possibly make you sick, right? Could possibly change the way that your brain's working because your brain's working at a frequency and you listen to this stuff all the time, which switches kind of the waves of your brain. That's why like the what do they call the binaural beats, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to work because they're supposed to eventually line up with the proper brainwave frequencies and y'all connect. And that's what's supposed to make you feel good, right? So if that works, why couldn't stuff that is a negative frequency not affect you in the same way? So the sound healers, like remember when we were at the conference, Ben, and the ball blower with the horn, right?
Dude.
He was making people's
he was
making people's balls feel real good that day.
It was the taint tickler.
The taint tickler. Dan, this was the weirdest thing. People would lay down on a table and he would take this big horn and he would put it like right in the gooch area and blow. And people were like, I feel so good. I don't know what he was doing.
He was so mad at me. I tried to take a video. He was like, do not post that.
Oh no.
Do not show this to people.
He caught me.
I don't want my taint tickling secrets out, dude.
Yeah.
How do you hone your craft?
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing.
Horn your craft. Huh?
All right, but real quick before we go on that, Joe, what I think you just described as far as like if it can do positive things, it can do negative things. You might have just stumbled onto the explanation behind Havana syndrome that's being discussed recently. Like, what if that's
well, I don't know about this. What is that?
There? That's where like
what is it?
There's been several foreign diplomats that have expressed concern over all of a sudden they start feeling really, really bad. And it's they're trying to figure out if it's legit or not, but it's been titled the Havana syndrome. And it's basically using at a distance, somehow they're able to make people very sick and very ill. I don't have a great explanation for it, but that's it boiled down is something is getting to these people and it's making them like very, very ill where they have to be taken to the hospital. And it seems to be used with malintent.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the Army released, I guess the FBI or CIA released documents that the Army in the 80s used the voice to skull technology where they would shine a laser at somebody and they were actually able to transmit information and sounds. And they would shine it at people's heads and they would think that they were going crazy because they were hearing voices in their heads and they couldn't figure out why. And a lot of these people would end up committing suicide or get thrown in mental institutions. People of power, you know, they were seen as like loonies because they were hearing voices in their heads, but really it wasn't. The military was actually using lasers on people, transmitting information, sound waves, like hearing voices and things. So the Havana syndrome just seems like the next level of like whatever that was. And people who just call it crazy obviously haven't seen the released documents by the government on these voice to skull technologies that have been used like as early as the 80s and probably before that too, you know? So I definitely think there's something going on with that, man. For sure.
Yeah, I can believe it. Like, there's something on the tip of my tongue right there.
Tip of the tongue.
All right. Lou Elizondo has been talking or been asked a lot of questions recently about remote viewing. Yeah. Have you guys been keeping up on that?
Oh yeah, dude.
I want to know, dude.
Dude, why'd you have a baby, dude? You don't know anything.
I don't know shit no more. All I know is my baby's very cute and I can't stop looking at her. I'm obsessed.
You got Havana syndrome.
I love being a dad. It's fun.
All right. So I had two kids and the second kid had the best smelling baby head ever. Like that was like my one thing. Like I couldn't pick her up with like giving her the sniff.
Dude, when she yawns, I'm like, my wife is like, you're weird. I'm like, but it's so sweet.
Yeah, I know. Like there's just these little things that you're going to find about your kids that you're like, I cherish this little moment. It's just this small little thing. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah. Especially like whenever like you yawn and they cough in your mouth. Great. I love it. It's awesome. I love it when they sneeze in your face.
One more piece of dadly advice is when your kids are growing up, keep a journal of things they say wrong. Like my kid said instead of camera, she would say camea. And so like there's like, and she said all these other things. And I was like, we got to start writing these things down. Well, I guess what I didn't do.
No, my God.
Dude, I love that. Okay.
Like it's hilarious. And I have another daughter, her name's Leona, and she just would speak her own language. So we ended up saying she's speaking Leonese. And so my sister-in-law's name is Junebug, but she was like, oh God, like that's how she would say it. So now my sister-in-law is now Ogub at our house because
awesome.
of that. But write down the things your kids say wrong.
Yes,
okay,
man,
dude.
I'm gonna do that. Two things. I revisit the time that Ben and I sang happy birthday to your daughter at least once every 3 months, right? Because it brings a little cheer to my heart. And then two, my kid, when we're like, hey, you want your passy? She calls it a pussy. So it's hilarious. Every time she wants her passy, she's like, pussy, 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 like walking around saying pussy for like 30 minutes. It's the funniest thing ever. It's the greatest
What
thing ever.
what does Amanda think about that?
Oh,
one?
she thought it was hilarious. She's the one who discovered this amazing thing that my kid does now. And yeah, it's great. So like we send her off to school and she's just like pussy, pussy, pussy. And they're like, what are these parents teaching them? And we had to like tell them, like, no, she's saying passy. Her pacifier. She wants her passy. And they were like, oh. And I was like, you guys are fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up, dude.
And you know, there's other little kids going home saying that to their parents now.
I know. Oh my god. Yeah, Passy and Elmo are the two biggest words right now. Oh, and shoe. We got a fish, and we told her to name the fish, and she named it shoe.
Yeah.
So yeah, pussy, Elmo, and shoe are the big things right now. And outside, it's so cute.
I love that, dude.
I got a dog named Pig.
Nice, dude. Yes. Was that a kid decision?
That was her name's Lucy Pig. That was my wife's call. All right, sometimes my vote doesn't count. I didn't want Lucy to be my dog's name, but it's Lucy, and when she started calling her Lucy Pig, and Pig has stuck.
I love that.
That's hilarious. My brother's name is Corey, and for some reason, my mom started calling him Corey Wayne, and that's not even part of his name. Wayne isn't even a part of his name. He's been Corey Wayne ever since. So I guess I can relate a little bit. It's hilarious, dude.
Jesus, that was great. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to take a journal. Yeah, dude, the amount of things that she's gonna say wrong, because I say things wrong all the time on purpose to be funny, but she's gonna take it like for face value.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, your kids will take the bait. You got to be careful. I did that once. She was my oldest was probably 2 years old, and I was like giving her a bath, and I was like, "Hey, the bottom of the bathtub smells like jelly beans," and she sniffed it, and I got in big trouble.
Oh, that's wrong, dude.
I was like, she's not gonna fall for that. Not even at two. Oh no.
That's hilarious, dude. Mine's learned high five, and we're working on cool, dude. Cool. Yeah. I can't wait. It's gonna be great, man. Ben, you showed a picture of Notre Dame.
Yes. Okay.
Earlier.
Dude, I'm so glad you knew what this was, because I was like, this is some church.
Dude, I've seen the movie.
So Hunchback lives there.
The Hunchback lives. He lives.
That's the Hunchback's house.
It's up in the bell tower.
It's in. Yeah. So I'm just.
They kept a special needs child in the bell tower.
It's really fucked up. The Catholic Church has done too much. So all right. So I'm
gonna leave that alone. Never mind.
Yeah. It's okay. So so I just had this thought to Google. I knew that there was some really intricate designs that have gone into cathedrals over the years, a couple years, master masons, and I remember seeing these cymatic videos.
That's me, bro.
That was all you, dude.
Master mason, dude.
I
built your waffle.
You did. You literally did though. But so I wanted to show that, and then also show not the screen. Hold on. Show the cymatic video. Amazing. It starts with amazing. There it is. And I don't know. This is just an idea that I just had while we were talking, like while we were doing this. And so it shows the hertz here, and it shows like how it changes from like 5,284 hertz, and it starts to form these squares and circles, man. I just thought that was pretty interesting. I can't find an exact match to the Notre Dame circle.
That's the football team, dude. You're talking about that Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I did say it like that.
Crimes
the
and
Notre Dame.
There is a connection, dude. Did you know that they built cathedrals for their the what is it, reverberatory aspect of the whole thing? So when they would actually sing, they would get this effect off of the walls. But they also built cathedrals, which means reaching to the heavens or reaching to the skies. That's why they're so big, because they were trying to touch God at one point.
It's called Gothic.
Gothic. Yes, the Gothic cathedrals. Yes. And they also built them for the sound that they made, because when everybody sings at one time, it definitely does affect you, right? And still today, we have small churches now that are built, especially here in the United States. But when the band strikes, dude, everybody sings, and that's like a staple to these religions. And you go back further and further and further, and you realize, you start doing some research, and you're like, oh shit, you mean Catholic monks invented the note? How cool, right? And they actually wrote the bars, and they would put these little ha 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 ha, right? And they would put these on these little bars, and they created the note, And so they knew exactly what they were doing. They were like, that sounds really tight. Like old school monks were like, that shit is lit. It's
that's
100.
That's what they said though.
Yeah. And they were like, but it sounds better like when we're in this big echo chamber. So they were like, well, let's build these massive cathedrals so we can try and like go visit God, like we would crawl on the top of it, but also so we can have this cool sound reverberate all around the building, and we get that feeling. And that's where the Om comes from, which is even more ancient than the Catholicism stuff, right? Because the Om had this reverberatory frequency within the body that affected the body, which allowed you to center and become one with source and consciousness. The frequency itself is what centered the body. So when they took it a step further, they were like, well, dude, let's build buildings, and let's put a lot of people inside of these buildings making these noises that react with the body, right? Dude. So there's a lot of history behind it, dude, and the cymatics and the way that they look, and like there's a connection there for sure. And it's not just a speaker with some sand on it. Like, what did the ancients know, dude?
Yeah.
That somebody in the 1990s was like, oh, I put some sand on a speaker. Look at how cool this is, right? Like, whoa.
Well, what is a speaker other than you? I mean, have you ever like
it's just a giant Om with different notes.
Have you ever like I remember like in grade school, I would like make this low frequency on my desk on a piece of paper because I didn't want to do work. I just made noises. I was in a fun time in my life.
Recipe for success, it sounds like.
But I remember like, I would be like, whoa. And so the teacher would be like, Ben, shut the fuck up.
You're like reading time, playing popcorn, and you're like, whoa, on your desk.
And like the whole, like the paper would vibrate. Like, I wonder if that's kind of, in a really rudimentary way. Like people were like, hey, this does something. And then we just don't know what that meant. And maybe that's a full circle back to this connection between, is the music or these frequencies touching your soul, or the frequencies in your brain? And
yeah, dude. Like your teacher thought you were being disruptive, but really you were running science experiment way ahead of your time,
Smart.
And so like sometimes these teachers need to just sit down, fool, and like stop messing with you.
I love Mr. Fark was awesome. I love you. If you ever hear this,
I had two pigs. One was named Miss Safarik and the other was Miss Pig. I'm not even gonna lie. They know about it and they were totally flattered. Like
both of those teachers.
Yeah. But dude, even further, like as a child, when your mother would vacuum, did you ever hum to the same, like every time my mom vacuumed, for some reason, I was compelled to go and match the sound of the vacuum. I don't know what that was all about, but I thought it was fascinating. It would crack me up because I would like go off the pitch of the vacuum and it would go like
the dissonance.
And I would see how fast I could make it before I reached like equal frequency with the vacuum. And it was just so fun to me, dude. I loved it. And I don't know, that makes me weird. Like, I guess so. I don't know.
Love that shit.
Let me know in the chat if any of you guys ever hum to the vacuum. And if not, next week, vacuum your house and get back to me.
I was
Chad
always too
Smith
busy.
used to do that.
I was always too busy trying to be the first person to mess up the lines the vacuum cleaner left behind on the carpet. That was my thing.
Yes, dude. Oh my God. Oh.
How would you mess up the lines?
You just walk on them, like like it gets that pattern. It's like fresh snow. You want to be the first to step on it.
Oh shit, man! Yeah,
especially if you didn't do the vacuuming.
Screw your
someone
effort.
else's hard work.
Take that, Mom.
Oh my god.
Do
Gordium says he used to do that with there's a compactor at work that we hum to. Dude, I'm the same way at work. Anytime somebody starts with like a wood chipper or some weird shit, I hum to things. I don't know why. Vehicles, vacuum cleaners, things that I hear, like computer modems going on, like I'll just be sitting there and I'll just start humming. And like it's like I don't know. It's almost like an obsessive compulsion disorder where like people have to touch a doorknob 20 times. Anytime there's like a sound, I have to hum to it. It's weird. I don't know.
It sounds
what
like
that's
you're just
all about.
musical by nature. I feel like is what you're describing.
Because
it's just in some people.
Yeah, I can't read a lick of music, dude. I can't read a sheet of music whatsoever. And I can't do math whatsoever. But I failed every math class that I had, but I had a physics class and flew through it with ease just because I liked how things worked, right? I literally could. You could give me a math test right now and I would fail it. I would bomb it. You could give me a music test and I would bomb it, right? But if you're like, hey, play some Red Hot Chili Peppers, I can play some Red Hot Chili Peppers. And if you're like, hey, let's talk some physics, I can talk some physics with you, right? It may not be like the best, but enough to like understand the concept and like the rudimentary like level of it to like engage in a conversation with somebody. But like if you were like, hey, let's talk some simple math, I'd be like, I'm out. I'm out, dude. Don't even ask me to add like two big numbers together. Fucking it's gonna take me like a minute and a half. Like
so one of the weirdest things that I've been witnessing as a father lately is I have a daughter that more or less struggles with school. The simple addition, multiplication, she struggles with, but that kid solves complex issues. Like she has strong problem solving skills. It's almost like single step math is not challenging enough for her, or it's just not interesting enough for her. But if she wants to accomplish a task that takes multiple steps to do and perform, she can figure it out, and she will just chug along until she can figure out a way to make this problem go away. But it's the teeny tiny little pieces that she struggles with somehow, which is, it seems like it would be backwards. Like you should be able to solve the easy stuff before you solve the complicated stuff. She's wired the other way around.
Yeah, dude. We might be the same kid, because when it came to like math, like if I got a problem, I could do it in my head and write the answer, but I could never show my work, and they would always fail me because I could never show my work. But the showing the work part confuses me. Why can't I just tell you the answer? Like it was so irritating. And like, I've literally taken tests where I've gotten one, maybe two answers wrong, and the rest of them were all correct. But I would fail the entire thing because I couldn't work the process out on paper, but I could do it like just in my head. Like it was easier to just be like 78. That's what it is. It's 70. I can look at that and say that's 78. But if you want me to work it out on some paper, I get so confused, and then I get it even more wrong. It went from 78 to 3. Like I don't know how, and I don't know how I do that. Right? My work is always wrong. But if I don't have to show work, I can get it right.
Yeah.
It's so irritating.
One thing I hope that changes, I mean, just speaking generally on like society is a general topic, in the topic of intellectualism or intellect. I hope that things kind of change where we no longer focus on the amount of bullshit that you can remember and I mean, Dan, I know you're an engineer, so you're very, you've had to memorize a lot of stuff, and you're a very intellectual person. But like, as far as like remembering these little details, like maybe we can broaden the scope of intellect in a way as a society and even as a culture to include those big ideas, those problem solving skills, those social skills, things that people that you could be the smartest person in the room based on being able to solve a logistics problem or a mathematical equation, but your social skills are total shit. That's why we need each other, right? We all fit in. That's why we're supposed to be social beings. We're supposed to work together on stuff. And for some reason, for so long, we've been valuing this one type of intellectual brain, and one's not any better than the other. And I feel like a lot of us fall into this like gray area, and there's like a few that kind of are outliers. But man, I hope one day we kind of see the value in problem solving. I think that's like what it boils down to, right? Like how we measure intellect, or maybe it's not problem solving, but even being able to understand the question and build upon that and ask a better question. Maybe that's the new standard of intellect. And to bring that back, if I can, to our ever growing relationship with ET or extra dimensionals, if we put these ET or extra dimensionals on this pedestal, that they're higher intellect, they have higher technology, they are more advanced than us, maybe we should take a step back and figure out for ourselves what that means for us. What is a higher intellect? What does an advanced species look like? How do they think? And I don't know, like, where does that take us? Like,
well, I don't think you have to go forward to experience that. I think if you met a human from 5,000 years ago, you would be like, wow, this guy's sharp, because he was using his brain to survive, like to thrive in an environment that we would not do so well in. Right. There, in any, I mean, I say 5,000 years ago, but it could just be a different place, a different time. It could be currently going on in a remote jungle in the Amazon where somebody is a master of his environment, living day to day to survive. And you meet him and you're going to be very impressed by the amount of knowledge that he contains between his ears to just survive. Like it's the human race is very adaptable to our environments. So that's where I think there's different flavors of intelligence, and who knows what we were like tens of thousands of years ago. Like we weren't dummies. Like we were smart. We just weren't. We didn't have as many tools in the toolbox that we have now. So what were we like if we didn't have a phone to distract us right now? What would we be trying to figure out? Like Socrates or Socrates didn't have a phone to distract him, so he got into philosophy in a way that hasn't been repeated in a long time.
Yeah, good reference, by the way.
So I'm glad you got that.
Yes, Bill 10. Dude, yeah. What's that quote? If you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, you'll always think he's stupid. You know, because that's not his environment. That's not his realm. You know,
right?
My dad. Dude, this is kind of recent. He was like, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but you know, your sister's a PhD, has a doctorate, and your brother's a military aircraft engineer. He's like, you know, but you're the smartest kid that I have. I was like, what? He was like, you can literally figure your way out of any situation ever. You got to tell your sister to come in out the rain. You know, like it's just like so weird. Like when you're talking about the level of like what is smart, you know, like what is smart?
That's awesome.
It's smart is literally your ability to survive and adapt to your environment, right? And we think of smart as like, oh, yeah, I built a nuclear reactor, right? Well, okay, but like, can you survive as a human being? Like, you know, like I don't know, like. There obviously that's a very important skill to have. Those people are extremely smart, people who send rockets and like astronauts like to space. Those are smart people. They're very smart. But like, I love the idea of like, what are we gauging intellect? What is smart and what is intellectual? Like, are they two different things? Are they like, obviously they meld to a point, right? But when you separate them, like what's important, I guess is the question. Like, where do you draw the line? Like if you can build build a rocket and shoot it to Mars and make it come back and land down on Earth, right? Like that's obviously brilliant. But like if you can't do like daily things, like you got to have somebody wash your clothes, like is that still smart, right? Or is the guy who like is riding on the back of like a trash truck, right? But like he can accomplish everyday skills and have no problem. He's great with people. He makes enough money to survive. He's happy. Like he's like, where does that separation happen, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think there needs to be balance along with intelligence. Like what you're describing is somebody that's very niched in his intellectual capabilities. Like he is a math brain. He is looking at this rocket and that's all he's thinking about. That somewhere there is a guy in the world that is the world's foremost expert on worms. Like he knows more about worms than anybody else. That guy's probably super smart, but probably can't do much else. Like, a broad range of knowledge is different than a very niche intelligence or knowledge about something specific. Like I'd rather be my intelligence be spread out over a broad range of topics instead of just being hyper focused on one.
Right. Like what
Except
is the
UFO topic? That one's great to focus on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like what is the thing people always say, like Einstein couldn't tie his shoes. He didn't know how to tie his shoes. Well, if somebody didn't know how to tie their shoes, you'd be like, what an idiot. Right? The guy came up with the theory of relativity. He never combed his hair and he didn't know how to tie his shoes. What a weird guy. Nikola Tesla had a loving relationship with a parrot, with a pigeon. Right? Like, okay, that's somebody you'd probably put in like a institution of some sort nowadays, right? But that guy was a genius. He was
like, smart.
Who's your homie? Ben Wilcock? That fool doesn't take showers.
My homie?
He's not your homie. He just occasionally says some cool shit.
He just comes over every Sunday. We're just neighbors. We're neighbors.
So like there's that delicate balance, man, on like what overall intelligence is, and it's a cool thing to be able to like track and gauge that, because we do that to monkeys, right? We're like, oh look, they're starting to use tools. They've entered the Stone Age. They're
flying drones. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that. Are they
No.
really?
They're flying drones.
and shit?
Dude.
Oh my God, dude. Yes. So I mean, like, okay, so yeah, a monkey can survive out in the wilderness and he can fly drones,
and he can punch you in the face and you will die.
Yeah. Can you survive in the jungle?
Can
dude,
you survive
forever?
a punch from a monkey, dude?
Does that make now like a chimpanzee or orangutan smarter than you? Because not only can he live in a wild area for his entire life and be totally fine, plus he's also using tools to accomplish his goals, and he can fly a drone. Okay, are apes now smarter than us?
Guys, I wanted to bring up, so other than Willie's, Big Willie's a baby pigeon, I actually, dude, I swear to God, asked my wife, I saw a baby pigeon in my neighborhood. Baby pigeon, they're real. But, dude, I shared this in our Discord. I got to share this because we were on the topic. We said something about worms. And
are you the only one on the Discord, by the way?
It's just me.
Just you?
Just me and Nibbler. So she tells me when she's hungry. So we hit on worms, and we're talking about like intellect and like.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of you being like, hey, I want to discuss quantum physics, and then Nibbler pops in and is like, I'm hungry.
That's how it would go. That's how we go. So we talked about worms. Okay. And those of you that are in our Discord, y'all have seen this. I know this is like terrible, but this is as big as it goes. It's as big as it gets. Okay. So this is the comments on Reddit. This is a Reddit post. The comments are genius because and I'll just kind of talk through this, but thousands of years from now, the ant overlords, the ant humanoid overlords are going to say they had help from the giant human beings. But in reality, I mean, look at them all working together. They're moving a big ass worm, man.
It's incredible.
Look at that. Can you not call that intelligence?
Absolutely.
That's intelligence,
That's
right?
wild.
Absolutely.
Look at
Our
them.
Keith
They're like-
I've
Andrews
never seen
actually has a video on an ant extraterrestrial species.
Oh, cool.
Check it out.
Well, real quick for those just listening and not on YouTube, we're watching a video of a huge wormy worm. It might be a bright crawler. I don't know, but there's like these ants are all joining forces and making a huge, like a double rope effect. And I don't know, they're biting butts, but they've created a line of ants, man.
Hey, Joe,
So good.
do you think that worm is a 1/4 inch in diameter? I'd say you're probably a pretty good judge of that.
Come on. No. It's a little bit smaller.
Dude, you just got God, dude.
The worm is smaller, dude.
That was
It's
awesome.
smaller than a 1/4 inch. It would go in easily. I
How do you know, dude?
because I haven't been able to put my dick in the jack yet. I've yet to be able to put my wiener in the guitar.
Not
I've
even-
tried it.
Not even the tip, dude.
You
Not even
wouldn't even be able to imagine the amount of things that I've tried to put my wiener in as a child up to now, dude. Like it's the options are countless at this point. You know, couches, refrigerators. It's ridiculous. Car doors. Some things I regret. I'm not even gonna lie. Right, but
The car door sounds like a pretty big regret.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, when you're shopping for like meats at the supermarket, and you're like at the right height, and you're like, this is interesting. It's a little chilly. Have pants on?
Wait, are you saying that you've sodomized the meats that I've what meat market do you have?
Tenderized.
Tenderize the meats at HEB, dude.
Shit. I'm glad I don't live in Taylor.
Oh my god. No, I go to the Round Rock HEB.
No.
I go to the Georgetown HEB now, bro. Just because I know you live there.
I
And I know you're buying meats.
I knew it, dude. I knew
Are all the grocery stores acronyms in Texas? Is that what I'm picking up?
HEB, bro. Yeah. Well, no, because we have Albertsons, right? That's one. And then we have
Sam's
Club.
Sam's
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah. We have the Walmarts,
Gotta be a
obviously.
member.
I'm glad
the
you pronounce it right.
We got
we had the
a Trader Joe's.
We do have Trader Joe's.
We're naming.
You guys
grocery
aren't
stores.
successful enough on this podcast to go to Trader Joe's very often to shop.
No, not
That's
at all.
big money right there. That's
Dude.
Dave Scott money.
That is
Yeah, dude, yeah. But HEB, dude, I'll tell you, HEB is like the local hero, dude. Like the national, like if there's ever a natural disaster, HEB is there before fucking the military, right? Or the government. Like if there's a flood in Houston, HEB is there already distributing water that they're sucking out of the flood and filtering and turning into drinkable water for people before the government even shows up, dude. It's like HEB and rednecks are like the first responders to every natural disaster. Like that's how it goes down over here, dude. Like people with big ass trucks and HEB are the saviors of everything, dude. Like whenever the big freeze, the snowpocalypse happened last year, HEB was the only people that had water, and they would like give it out for free. They were giving water out for free to people, and they were like, "Here, just take it. We're HEB." You know, and they even go to other states when there's natural disasters, and other states that don't even have HEBs. They send big ass HEB 18-wheelers out to like save people's lives, dude. It's amazing. HEB is the greatest thing of all time. Yes, this is a commercial for HEB.
We're not sponsored.
We're not
Yeah.
sponsored.
But we should be. We should be. I'm gonna pitch that. I'm pitching it to HEB immediately.
While you were talking about like survival, Joe, AK Willie said, all you need is corn oil. Zip. Hold on. Wait, let me say it. Corn. It doesn't even capitalize. It's just mid-sentence. Corn oil, Ziploc bag, and a couch. That's all he needs.
Oh god.
my
AK
God.
Willie.
So
is
funny.
AK Willie maybe
Is he the Phantom Farter? Yes.
Is
I
he the
think so,
Phantom
dude.
Farter on Big Willie show?
Fucking, that's him. He's got to be, dude.
It might be him, dude.
All right. Okay, I got to bring it back, guys. I got to bring it back to aliens for a second, if you guys don't mind.
Hold on, Dave Scott, please come down here next year because the Farmer's Almanac is already predicting another one. I don't know how many you follow the Farmer's Almanac, but I treat it like a Bible. I got one on the side of my bed, and I read the Farmer's Almanac. Last year, no, 2019, they had a great article on UFOs, which was phenomenal. I posted it on Facebook. But yeah, the Farmer's Almanac knows what's going on. All right. If
Hey,
you
man,
want to
I
know
got-
when winter's over, you just look at your mesquite trees.
Every motel from Austin to Dallas has a Farmer's Almanac instead of a Bible.
That's right, dude. If you want to know when it's going to rain, look for flies.
Check it out.
It's the Farmer's Almanac is the best bathroom read you can find. Like it should be, there should be one in every commode, on every commode back.
There is.
true.
Around here.
It's true though, dude.
Dude, we follow the Farmer's Almanac so closely, and they're always right, dude. People call it the astrology of farming.
Sorry, Sonny. Sonny just posted something hilarious. Oh my god. Should I put it? Okay, just for a second. Did you see that? Big Willie says, "Jesus, Sonny."
That's a great idea, by the way. I'm going to put
God.
mine in there
Oh my god, y'all are fucking hilarious.
as soon as we get off, because now I'm interested.
Dan, thank you for being a good sport. You know, you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Oh yeah.
You saw the thumbnail for this video, right?
Oh yeah.
Are you worried about? You're like, all right. When your daughters get old enough, you're like, just stick to the TikTok. Don't venture out into any podcast I've ever been on.
Okay,
Those guys that saying you happy birthday, they are bad guys. Don't listen to this.
I'm more worried about my kids' friends finding these than my kids finding these, to be honest.
Well, at least you're not
God.
saying it. It's mainly like guilt by association. You're not saying anything bad.
Dan, one of my favorite things about you, man, is that you're a Pimp C fan.
Oh yeah. Get
Yes.
tore up on their city lights.
What is it about Pimp C that like attracted you, dude? Because I mean, you're not like
UGK. I mean, just in general.
Yes, sir.
Riding Dirty long
Yes, sir.
time ago. That was like 97, 98 when
Yes,
that came
sir.
out. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm a hip hop historian. That's what it really boils down to. So I've talked about it with Danny Silva the other day. Like, do you guys know who K Reno is?
K Reno.
Yeah. Like,
do
he
I know
is
who K
the
Reno is?
he is the best rapper that you've never heard of, and he's from South Park, Texas.
Okay.
I don't know where that is in relation to Austin, but he's like 48 years old, and he's been dropping an album a year or two for like 25 years.
I'm looking that up immediately.
Like, he has a song called Alien Baby, and it's part of a series of songs called the Sorcerer's Saga. And
wait a second, I know exactly what that
Oh.
is.
It's incredible, and he does all these play on word songs where he's like, I pushed you from behind and you backslid, like just like all
Yes.
these crazy lyrics. Like, and
I
I
know what
just
you're-
cannot believe he can come up with what he comes up with. Like, that's
Yeah,
the
dude.
guy from Texas right now for me.
I'm tripping out realizing like our first episode with you, Dan, you did bring this up that you're a hip hop historian, like 100%.
Oh yeah.
Totally forgot
Dude,
about that, dude.
I love that, dude. I love that. Dude, being a hip hop historian, have you seen the man, what was the name of that documentary? What is it? The Dungeon Crew? And it talks about basically like Andre 3000 and like, you know, the whole crew that like ran with them, Outcast, being the Atillians, how like they were from Atlanta, but it wasn't like Southern rap. It wasn't like the
I'm
typical
from
Southern.
Atlanta, actually. That's why I got into hip hop so big, because that's where I grew up. I was born and raised in Decatur, Georgia, which is not known for being the best place in the world when I was there, at least. Like it's definitely come up a little bit since then.
Yes, dude.
But yeah, like unfortunately, I don't even know that movie. I can't say it's
a good documentary, dude. Check it out. It's called The Dungeon Crew, and it's all about Outkast and like them being the Atillians and how like, you know, like Andre 3000 and like Big Boy and all them, like they all did their thing. You know, it's a really, really good documentary. I've been wanting to watch that Hulu series on the Wu-Tang Clan lately too. Have you seen it yet, Dan?
I haven't seen it. I don't sit down and watch TV very much. I'm too busy listening to podcasts.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. That's why I haven't seen it yet, man. That's why I haven't seen it yet. But man, I'm a huge fan, like Jermaine Dupri and stuff like that. Like I love a lot of like the old school producers and stuff like that. Like what is it? Damn it, what's his name? CeeLo Green. Like
he was in Goody Mob.
Yep.
Sugar
like a lot of people don't realize that that's him in Chasing Waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I didn't know that either.
The backup vocals is CeeLo, bro. Yeah, he's in there, bro. Like it's like some old Atlanta shit. Like it's really cool, man. Like when you start going down that history, and then you get into the Texas history, man, and we're talking swanging and banging, chopped and screwed. The Jigga Man talked about it. He's got Pimp C and B-U-M-B in it, dude. Big pimping.
And they could have done without Jay-Z in that song, in my opinion.
They really could have. They could have spun it.
And people didn't need any spinning keys.
Yes, they did, man. It's like the one time that like Jay-Z was on a track that he gets outshined.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like you notice the world like it just grabbed onto like Chopped and Screwed for a while. And it's like, damn, dude, like that was like the moment, that 90s, early 2000s era. And it was just huge.
I've got one for you guys. Have you heard of Zero?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Zero or Zero? Because
Zero. My bad. Oh, that's a telling, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a Z-Ro.
Yeah, Zero.
Yep. Yeah, dude. Yes. He was at he actually showed up to our apartment complex. We have this huge event in Austin, and it's called Texas Relays, which is basically like a huge like track event where like high school track teams get together. But for some reason, everybody shows up to Austin and they all got slabs. They all got, like lowriders.
It was dope.
And slabs, bro. Like you will see like the tallest Caprices you've ever seen in your life, dude. Like show up. And dude, like I-35 is like the massive highway through Texas. And once you get to Austin, you might as well forget about it. You better go somewhere else, dude, because they're all like, it's like a 3-lane highway, and there's like 100 cars like swerving, swanging through all 3 lanes of the highway, dude. And it's like miles long, dude. Everybody's trunks are popped. There's neon everywhere. Like it's just ridiculous. Like you got like Crown Vics on like 32s. It's like the stupidest thing ever, but it's the most amazing time. Well, I take that. I don't go downtown, right? But it's like the most amazing. I've been down there, and it's like such an amazing experience. It's like Houston came to Austin for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hey,
We used to have this guy that lived next to us. His name was Kilowatts, and he was sponsored by like Skittles, and he had like a Skittles wrap on his car. And like the most ridiculous sound system I had ever heard. And he was a bass player. And so I was like, obviously interested in his bass playing. But then like, dude, you could hear the guy like coming from like literally before he even got in the apartment complex. It was ridiculous.
Feel
like
it before you hear it.
Yes, dude. It's the most amazing thing ever, man. I loved it.
Speaking of sponsored by Skittles, I didn't know this until like a few months ago. Marshawn Lynch is one of the funniest human beings on the planet, man.
So funny.
Oh man, I've been watching his highlights, like interviews and things like that. I thought he was just like a knucklehead because of the way that he was portrayed in the media. But man, now that like I've seen some of his YouTube videos, that guy is comedy gold.
Have you seen him with Bear Grylls?
Yeah, I saw the snippets, the highlights of that one.
Isn't that amazing, dude? Where he's talking shit to Bear Grylls, and he's like, "I'm not going down there." Like,
like he's gonna speak the truth. Like that guy is gonna say it how he sees it, or how he calls it. Man, that guy is one of the most honest human beings on the planet right now, I think.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch is amazing, dude. Like, and I don't even care like what people say about him, like. You know, like when people talk about like Deion Sanders and how cocky he was, and then they talk about like Marshawn Lynch and how cocky he is, like there's like a difference in like the cockiness, because like Marshawn Lynch is just like, he's like so real about it, like just the way he is, you know, like Deion Sanders is more like money cocky. Marshawn Lynch is more like roots cocky.
Have you watched any of the Deion Sanders videos where he's now the coach of, I think, Jackson State or Jacksonville State? Like he's the football coach, and he does inspirational speeches to him. Man, that guy is a different human being than the guy that we saw on the football field in prime time.
Yeah, I have seen those, dude. And they are really, really good. Really, really good. And it's like that perspective on him is like completely different than like his entire like career and life. You know what I'm saying? It's so much different. Do you ever watch like the 30 for 30s or like the what are they called?
30 for 30s. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, the 30 for 30s. Dude, those are so good.
It's just amazing they have that much information about these events. Like,
I know.
The one where the Chicago Cubs fan grabs the ball that was inbounds and it like cost them the championship or the World Series or whatever it was, the trip to the World Series. Like that one, to me, I was like, oh my goodness.
Dude.
This has become real as soon as they told the full story. Like now I feel bad for that guy, like terribly bad for that guy.
I know, man. I know. The Miami Hurricanes 30 for 30 is amazing. I love that one. And then they did one on like Chuck Liddell. That was pretty badass. Like
I hate Christian Laettner. I saw that one.
Yes, dude. Those 30 for 30s are badass, dude. I love those things, man. They're so good. They're so good. I love them. I love them, man.
Hey, have you guys heard about like football?
Spin's a big sports guy.
Austin's sorry, soccer. Did I say football? Soccer. Austin's got a soccer team.
Austin does have a soccer team. Who
That's
cares?
my contribution for sports.
We're in Texas. Who cares?
I just don't know enough. I don't know.
I hate that logo so much, dude. I hate that. Austin FC, really? That's what we're gonna call ourselves? Why didn't we call ourselves the Austin Armadillos or something cool? But no, we have this stupid ass like oak tree. Like we're the Austin FC and we have an oak tree. Like, wow, how cool.
Yeah,
like,
FC means
oak trees are cool.
Fucking cool, dude.
Fucking cool, dude. That's what it means, right?
So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was it. I mean, hey,
right,
I don't know if you knew about this. But the Austin Ice Bats are coming back, which is the hockey team. Damn, did anybody watch that Bruins game last night? Bruins got killed. I was so bummed. I like the Bruins. I also like the Stars. I like hockey. This
All right,
switched gears in a big way.
Well, real quick before we get off of the armadillos, have you guys ever heard the Armadillo Jackal by Robert Earl Keen?
Yes, sir.
That is such an epic song. It's so good. Like I don't like country music too much. I don't know if I even classify that as country music. I've listened to that song 1,000 times on repeat. Like it's that good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's more like it's like a fun country, like a rebel country. You know, like rebel country is completely different than like regular country. Is that my man Matthew McConaughey with an armadillo on his knee?
Hell yeah, you're listening to Willie Nelson. I'll tell you what,
dude. It doesn't get more Texan than that.
That's true.
It does not get any more Texan than that, unless that armadillo had a fucking Lone Star beer like in his hands. Like it doesn't get any more Texan than that.
I'll tell you what.
And he's wearing a Texas Longhorn t-shirt. He's wearing a burnt orange t-shirt.
Fucking love that the video or that photo.
That's so amazing, dude. That is so amazing. Our buddy Cinnamon Terry that was on the show actually got invited to a private event at Willie Nelson's place that he has. And he said that when he got there, it was Dave Chappelle did a private show. Willie Nelson did a private show. And damn it, what's her name? I can't believe I'm spacing on this right now, but they all did a private show out at his place. And he said that it was basically built up like an old, like old, like Western style, town where like there was like all these old school buildings and you could like line up in the middle of it. And you could just like watch the show like on the stage, like out at his little private ranch or whatever. But he got invited out there. He said it was like really badass. He was like, yeah, somebody was telling me, you want to go to Willie Nelson's little private area? And he was like, well, of course I do. And he showed up and Dave Chappelle ended up being there. He did a private show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was in Austin doing that gig with Rogan for a little bit.
Yeah, he was.
So that makes sense.
Dude, have you seen his latest special?
I went. We saw him live with. Chappelle.
You're talking about the one that got him in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, it was right before he got sick too. He got the COVID after. I did not give it to him.
You didn't give it to him? Good.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, he got it. But that latest special, the one that got him in trouble, Dan, have you seen it?
We had my mother-in-law in town last week, so we've been waiting for her to leave to be able to watch it. So we're trying to catch up.
So you mean by
phenomenal?
So you mean by getting in trouble? What does that mean? I thought you were talking about because he got sick from didn't get COVID or
no?
Joe, you got to take this one. I you know the details better than I do since you've seen it.
He made jokes about trannies and like gay people, and like everybody got so upset
right after he's poking fun of himself, from what I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, it's absolutely. People will have different opinions, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Dave Chappelle is a master of his craft. He is 100% in control, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
So and he's 100% confident too.
Well,
like that's
100%.
That's what sells everything he says is his confidence level when he is on stage. He owns it.
Absolutely, 100%. Man. And a lot of people, you know, like they make really good arguments against it, and I'm so 100% willing to like listen and understand the perspective of it, and like I get it, like, and I feel for that set of the population that is so offended, right? But at the same time, he knows what he's doing, and it's an art form. And when it comes to comedy, if you don't understand the art form, you're missing the point from the very beginning. So it's one of those things where if you don't really get it, it's okay, right? even Joe Rogan recently made a statement on the whole thing where he was talking about if there's ever something that you cannot make fun of or talk about, that's a dangerous avenue to go down, right? Anytime that we completely block something off from being talked about is dangerous. That's a very dangerous route to go down. And I'm 100% on board with that because, you know, I believe it. I'm a huge comedy fan, right? I understand the formula. I suck at comedy. You know, like I can't do comedy, but I understand the formula and I get it. And it's such a beautiful art form, dude. Like I would much rather sit at a comedy show down here at Cap City, right? Than go to like the most prestigious like art museum in France. Any day. It's such a wonderful, amazing art form. And
Yeah.
I've always been into offensive stuff. Offensive stuff.
It's the funniest stuff, without a doubt.
Exactly,
dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, to both y'all's points, like it is an amazing art form because it's uncomfortable. And if you can find beauty in being uncomfortable and being okay, Rogan says this all the time, like in a different way. He's like, I like to be uncomfortable, right? Like, dude, I'm highly influenced by stuff that he says, but this really hit home for me and I apply it to a lot of different things. And this is exactly the point. I think, you know, a great relation is like, that's why shit is funny. Like we were just talking about my daughter that's 2 weeks old. And we were talking about like, why is she like, when she smiles, it's not a cognizant thing. She doesn't know what funny is yet because she doesn't know the relevant thing. Like she doesn't know how to connect things yet. And the things that make you uncomfortable, things that don't make sense, the things that are goofy, the things that are, the word funny is so subjective. Like it's controversial to some people, and some people like dirty humor, right? Like, dude, I watched Dave Chappelle's show live, and yeah, if I, you know, if someone were going through a tough time, you know, transitioning, I sympathize with that. But like, dude, you are at a comedy show. Like, come on, man. Like, we're not like jabbing at you, or he's not jabbing at you. It's like a community thing. It's the
It's
dissonance.
social commentary.
Yeah, social commentary. We were talking about dissonance too earlier. We're like those frequencies when you're playing an A major and you play like a D minor sus, and it just like it doesn't feel comfortable, and then you land on that home note, and you land on a G or something like that. Just feels right. Like that's something...
exactly what Dave Chappelle's special is. It makes you uncomfortable, and then when he comes home, and drops the mic, you're like, beautiful.
Yeah.
You wrap this up in such a beautiful way, dude.
100%.
That's amazing. Like, and the fact that it's not like a spoiler alert or anything, but one of the things that he says is like, hey, if you're listening to my comedy and you come out offended, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah, you weren't paying attention. Yeah.
You weren't paying attention to what I was saying.
He said that like 100%.
Yeah, he definitely did. And Justin makes a great point. I think is who made that point. The blind racist guy on his show, right? When he did the Chappelle show, right? And he was the
Tyrone
black guy.
Biggum.
Tyrone Biggum.
No, I got it wrong. Sorry. Was it Tyrone?
No, I think that's the neck scratcher guy.
Okay, got it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but he was the black guy, the blind black guy.
Yeah.
Who hated black people because he didn't know he was black. Like, how hilarious is that, dude? That is so funny. Yes, it has KKK in it, right? Not funny, right? Yes, there's racism. Not funny.
Yeah.
But in the context that it's in is hilarious. Can you pull the stick out of your ass for 30 minutes, dude, and just laugh? Like, really? Can we just laugh? And that's the point of comedy, man, is like, hey, here at this comedy show, you get to forget all the serious shit you've been hearing all week long and laugh for 2 hours. Have some fun. Who cares? It's a comedy show. We can't go down this path of like, you can't say this, you can't say that. Well, why not? Like, well, because it offends me. Well, then don't listen to it. Well, you shouldn't be able to say that because then it can influence other people to be negative in society as well. Well, then don't listen to them either, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it boils down to a point that I don't even want to get into. But the whole thing is like, dude, like we have to like, yes, there are serious issues in society, but as a person, as a human being, you have to have this elasticity to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have like a certain like, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, right?
Spunk. A little spunk.
We'll call it a spunk, right?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, a little je ne sais quoi about you, right? You know? And dude, if comedy offends you, then don't listen to it.
Yeah, just
don't listen to it. If my show offends you, if our show offends you, don't listen to it. You know? That's all there is. There's so much material. There's so much there's so much media out there. Like, are we really going to focus on one thing? And I know that there's been people who have been like posting about how did the Dave Chappelle last special, how did that affect you? I don't care how it affected you. First off, right, which makes me the asshole, right? Immediately I'm the asshole.
But you're right, though. You're right.
Because I don't care how it affected you. I thought it was hilarious. If you didn't, cool. Don't watch it again. Who cares?
Okay.
Who cares?
I want to sneak this in. Do aliens laugh?
Hell yeah, they do. Every time they mess up and put you in a different country or put you in a different car or forget to put your clothes back on.
Patton asked, do aliens laugh, dude? Yeah, the clothes, right? Dan, what do you think, bro?
I would think they have to. I mean, the trickster element, they're not doing that for no reason. You know, they're making fun of us. Like, they're picking on us in general. They're sitting there chuckling as soon as we do something stupid and they see us doing it. Yeah. That's the reward, is laughing at us.
That's why
big dumb hairless monkeys.
That's why. Hey, can I run something by you guys? I feel like 80%. I'm only saying 80 because, just to be safe. But I feel like 80% of abductions would happen when people are masturbating, because it's like no one wants to admit what they were doing when they got abducted.
What were you doing while you were abducted?
I was asleep.
I was sleeping. I was standing out in the middle of a cornfield.
I was outside. No, I was clothed, but I did not have pants. Didn't have pants on.
I was with a crew of buddies, and we were chopping down trees out in the forest, and then I saw this thing light up, and so I went and looked at it. Travis Walton, you were masturbating, weren't you?
Which brings us to look, okay. This is really funny. No.
I'll be so pissed.
I'll be so mad, though.
That means that they're researching masturbation propulsion technology.
That's bringing home. That's what I was gonna say, dude. That's what I was gonna say. And all I wanted to say is that there's something to masturbation propulsion technology.
They gotta power those spaceships somehow. Get right to the source.
I'm telling you, man. Nobody believes us, dude. But we know that we've cracked the code.
Nobody believes us.
We're their biological gas stations.
Yes, dude. And that's why they're always here, bro. Because they're like the gas will never run out as long as we exist. There's always gonna be fuel here, man.
I mean, think about it. Sorry, my mother-in-law is here. Pornography is like the leading technology. Like, websites get better because of pornography, right? Like, that's
aliens created pornography.
They need us to do it. They gotta keep the technology up.
Yes.
Yes. You think about it.
It's funny because like you would always, like, in my mind at least, I always equate like, man, you're really smart, you're probably not very funny, or like you don't have like a very good sense of humor, right? Like you're just too smart to have a good sense of humor. Like you got too much smart shit up there to like crack a joke. Like it's just not in your like wheelhouse probably. But like you have to be. Like it doesn't matter. Like I guess like, and even if we bring this back to like a dumb level, right? Like even comedy has levels of intellectualism that go with it. Have you ever had somebody tell you a smart person joke and you didn't laugh? Because you're not smart enough to get it, right? But like smart people are like, that's hilarious, right? Because it's in context to like what they understand, So of course, I totally think ET's Clayton Bigsby. That's what it was, dude.
Yep.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Lewis. I actually just started showing my wife the Chappelle show, and like I laugh and like she's like on her phone, like she doesn't get it. It's so funny, and I get that as well. But back to the intellectual like comedy, like
yes.
There's a lot of stuff that's like really smart that like sometimes I don't get, and then like I'll get it, and I'm like, oh, I see why that's funny, but like I'm still not laughing. But I totally think ETs have a sense of humor, right? They would have to.
Yeah.
They would have to. But if we're going into like fractals, like we discussed earlier, and it goes smaller into the quantum level, into the molecular level, into that atomic level, like, is there comedy down there? Do you think there's a source of comedy of some sorts? Like maybe an electron is like, hey, I'm gonna leave this area and I'm gonna move over here. That's so funny, right? And they think it's hilarious, right?
Dude,
they're like, ah.
Joe, you're illustrating electromagnetism. That's what electromagnetism. It's like
through comedy, dude.
Hey, I'm gonna like totally join you guys. Guys, we're gonna hang out. And it's gonna be so fun. And then it's like dude. And then they separate and they never talk again. That's electromagnetism.
If you say so.
I don't know. Is that a smart comedy joke that I didn't get? Because I will laugh later, I promise. Once I get it.
Well, like, okay, I'm gonna sound like a douchebag if I try to explain it. I literally just played out the scenario you just I didn't mean for that to happen.
Oh my god.
So okay, Dan, do you think that a sense of humor is a form of? Do you think it's the highest form of intelligence, or just like we think it's like important because like it's fun to be funny?
I think it demonstrates a certain amount of elasticity in one's mental capability, because you have to be able to look at situations from different perspectives to make it funny. So I don't think it's the highest, but I think it is up there. Like, if I always tell my daughters, like, there's jokes that you read in a book and you tell somebody, but if you can make an inside joke with with one other person that is specific to you, it's so much funnier than any joke you could ever read out of a book that sold 1 million copies. Like, that's where comedy is. It's the one-on-one experience.
Yes,
dude, that's so smart. I love that you have such a great relationship with your family, bro. I admire that so much, man. I will try to emulate.
I'm hoping they'll keep me around for a little bit longer, at least.
Dude, I love that. Man, yeah. Even to like, I mean, I've been taking advice before I even knew that I was going to have a daughter from you. Like, how do you approach the alien topic or whatever? I mean, if we want to go down that route, but man, I just love it, dude. The relationship you have with your family and being able to communicate that, and then, dude, your journey through TikTok, man. And that's just a platform. I know, like, whenever anybody says TikTok, it's like
it's got a stigma.
Like it does, right? Like, I think it's going away though, because there's people like you actually putting out dope knowledge on a regular basis.
My wife downloaded TikTok the other day and I totally shit on her. But then I was like, oh, but if you have TikTok, you should download Dan Warren's channel. That was like the only positive advice that I gave her, was that you got to download Dan's channel.
Bro, you sound like a boomer. You got to download.
But dude, to your point, dude, like taking some of Dan's advice, like I thought of Dan 100%. And Ben, you witnessed this a little earlier. I got these 3 little guys over here in the corner, and my
yeah.
daughter is not afraid of them at all. She loves them. And I was like thinking to myself, okay, how do I get a 1 and a couple of month old child? You know, like
1 year.
it wasn't even like I was trying to get her interested. It was like, it's October and I got to pull these things out. How are we going to do this without scaring the shit out of her, basically? Right. And so like, I kind of like just kind of pulled one out of the garage and I left it, like down there. And she kind of like looked at it and was like, that's weird. And I was like, oh, look, it makes noises and it dances. You can dance. And so it started singing the song. So she started dancing with it. And she was like, yeah, this is kind of cool. And then I brought the other one out and I was like, look, there's 2 of them. And then they all started dancing. So they were like the 3 amigos for a while. And then I brought the 3rd one out and she was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And now she loves these things, dude. Like, they're like her best friends. She comes in here every day and plays with them and knocks them over and they sing and they dance. And like, whether or not like, like getting to like the whole like alien topic, like we're talking abduction and stuff, and then that's not always pretty. It's not a pretty subject. As pretty as we make this subject sound, everybody, it's not a pretty subject. It really isn't. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because we don't understand it, right? But I think the future generations, with the knowledge that we've acquired and the things that have come out recently, and with a lot of the work that like, people like Dan are doing, man, like you can show that to future generations and say, look, yes, this is a very misunderstood topic, but there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make good sense out of it. And I think then the future generations are going to start at that level, right? It was like this crazy conspiracy. And then the next generation hopped on and was like, well, hey, maybe this isn't so much of a conspiracy. Maybe there's something to it. Right. And now we're in this portion where like, it's not a conspiracy. There is something to it. Here we go. Here's government documents. Here's your own government saying, look, there's stuff flying around. We don't know what it is. And then you have people that are like, yeah, we have craft not of this world anymore, right? So this next future generation is already going to be miles ahead of where we were all at, right? Just guessing.
Yeah.
And it's due to Dan, dude. I mean, it's people like you, man. You have great information, man. Like, you're so good at what you do, and like I love that. I'm
just
that.
a conduit. Like, other people are doing the research. I'm just trying to make it consumable.
What you're good at is remembering shit. I don't know if you write it down, but Ben and I will have a conversation on something, and then you'll make a TikTok, and we'll be like, dude, that was so much smarter than what we said.
Good,
because we can't remember anything.
It takes us 3 hours to get what you do in fucking
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
It takes me 3 hours to get ready for that 30 seconds, though.
Dude.
Well, that's good candid information, but you put in the work, man. And there's like, that's so like, I commend you for that, man. Like, there's no way. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, especially now that you have like basketball going on and you're so busy. I don't know how you find time or like how you do it. Do you not sleep? Like, I don't get it, especially now that we have kids. Ben didn't even know about Let's Go Brandon, and it's been the hugest thing like in the world right now, dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, man, I try to keep up as much as possible. I read books, you know what I'm saying? So I try and do as much as I possibly can. But like, dude, you're amazing, man. And I'm so glad that we know you. And man, thanks for being our friend, man.
I got to thank UFO Twitter for most of the information that comes through, man. That place is a wealth of knowledge. So
it is, man. There's a lot.
Pipeline straight to your jugular of UFO information.
Yes, for sure.
Well, I was going to try to pull up your. Oh, here we go. Your TikTok here, so I can show people on YouTube. But it's 5th pillar of emphasis, and if you just search on TikTok for UFO, you're like the first person that shows up.
Yeah, everybody else on there posts CGI videos or are just some craziness. Like I'm the only one that's like, hey, this is like the facts as I see them. Oh yeah, there's my little ad. How many for this show? It looks like 305
hell
people
yeah.
watched it. I wonder if it did anybody show up from my TikTok channel to this. Probably didn't have a whole heck of a lot of people see it in time.
Yeah, it was kind of last minute. Well, I didn't want to man, we've had kind of like crappy luck. Just like, I know we can rely on you, Dan. But we just, the last couple of guests kind of, it's been shaky. So I was like, shit, I want to make, I had this idea for the artwork. And I was just like, fuck, we could just use this for the rest of the Thursty Thursdays as like a general thing. So there wasn't any reason why I didn't put your face on this thumbnail. But dude, for the next day, we've got to figure out a way to do this like a monthly thing. I know Joe and I have talked about this, like having Dan, like we only do this once a week. And there's what, 4, maybe sometimes 5 weeks, 5 shows in a month. And dude, it'd be awesome to have you on for like even like a segment if you can, dude. That'd be sick.
All right. So we were talking about advice earlier. There's one piece of advice that I'm glad you guys never took. The last time I was on here, I think it was the last time I was on here. We've actually been on other podcasts on other people's shows since the last time I was on here, I think.
Hell yeah, we've been running the circuit.
But right after that show, the next day, somebody that was new to the group posted on the Facebook thing, like, hey, that guy was really smart, but man, you don't need to have him on again. He was very monotone and boring. And Joe was like, yep, and moved on. So I'm glad you didn't take that advice. And I hope that guy thinks that I'm a little more entertaining now that I've my nerves have lowered since my first few podcasts.
Dude, here's the thing is like the first time you were ever on our show, calm, cool, and collected, man. And you've gone on how many shows? Like you're up next. You've been on well, we all know that the Big Phone Home, we were in the same little panel, and then you've got something coming up with the Disclosure team, right? Something soon.
I hopped on Instagram about 2 weeks ago just to be, because I've never been on it before, and I was like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I can, like, I post my
just Instagram
videos.
in general.
Yeah, and just in general, I don't like I skip social media.
How does it feel
apps.
to just be successful at like all these platforms? Just automatically.
No. Like TikTok, that's it. And it's success is relative, of course, to everybody.
You're just a great guy, and you make great content. That's okay.
Yeah, well, it definitely helps me learn. Like to read something and absorb it is one thing, but to read something, absorb it, and turn around and try to explain it to someone else, you have to learn that subject better. You have to understand it even further and be able to boil it down to just the minimum amount of information without overwhelming someone to try to explain it. So it just makes you think a little bit deeper about what you're researching. That's the big benefit in TikTok. From my personal benefit is that it helps me become more engaged in what I'm consuming even.
Dude, love that.
Absolutely. That's why me and you suck, Ben, because we take 3 hours and like 20 minutes of it is UFOs.
Fucking hell. And I just want to clarify, when I said that's okay, I wasn't referring to your content that it's okay. I meant like,
oh, I know, I didn't take it that way.
You're just crushing all the platforms, and that's okay because like I'm jealous. That's what I meant by that. But anyway, dude, like, man, we just love you, dude. You're awesome, man. And hopefully we can ride this whole wave together and help each other out, man. And I know that you get to the point faster than we do, but dude, I feel like we had a great convo just shooting the shit, man. And getting,
I know we didn't talk about UFOs a heck of a lot on this UFO podcast. It's fine.
But we talked about all the little things that deal with UFOs, right? Consciousness, a little bit of cymatics, frequencies. I mean, it all deals with the UFO subject.
Oh,
just breaking it down a little bit deeper, man.
It-
Because we can all say, yeah, what's a UFO, right?
Well, this is why when I first listened to you guys, I was like, I'm going to continue to listen to these guys, because just like this conversation we've had today, it is relatable. It is not Richard Dolan. No offense to Richard Dolan, like spitting out dates, spitting out information. Like it's not that. It is just you two dudes having a conversation, trying to figure it out. And that is the most relatable form of communication that exists in our world. Like just a conversation between two people, and you bring other people in to engage in the conversation as well. And the audience members can feel like they are riding shotgun for the conversation. That's why I like y'all's content. That's why I've been a fan for 2 years, and that's why I'm going to stick with you guys.
Damn.
And that's my goal for my TikTok is to be relatable to everybody, to make it easy to consume, to not be super opinionated. Just put the information out there and have the conversation.
I love that you always have been very consistent with you don't take a stand on like, hey, this is where I'm coming from as like an expert, dude. You always just like lay out the facts, dude. And most of the time is pretty humorous. Like you have kind of like a dry sense of humor. Like I'm starting to like pick up on that shit. And I think a lot of your viewers are as well. That's why they follow you, but I appreciate it. Cause there's so many people, and I'm really trying not to like talk shit, but like, dude, I think it's refreshing to have like an open opinion for somebody who, I mean, you say that you're new to this thing, but I think that's all relative, man. It's like the equation is how much are you invested and how much are you progressing and moving this ball forward as a collective? Like, are you just having an opinion and just fucking spitting it out there, or are you progressing this thing? And I feel like you definitely are. I think by you being on our show and helping us figure out this whole thing, because that's, I mean, like you said, this is what the show is about. Like we're trying to figure this out. And every conversation we have is a step forward.
And some of our topics, dude, even come from just like your videos. It'll spark something in our head and be like, hey, remember that shit Dan said?
Yeah,
well, let's take that a little further.
Another big benefit of the TikTok channel for me is like it has turned into a auto documentary for myself, more or less, like of my experience and my learning process in the UFO phenomena, as well as just documentation of the changing world that we live in regards to the phenomenon in itself. Like I can go back and be like, I remember when that news thing hit, I made a video about it. And then the next day that news thing hit, and it's like in chronological order. So it's all, it is turned into a table of contents for recent UFO news and history. Like that's what I can, when something happens in the news cycle now, I'll go, man, I remember they said something about that on this podcast like months ago. I think I made a video about it, and I'll be able to go back and watch my video and it'll clue me in, because one of my other goals is to just spark the interest of people to go look into other sources of information. So I'll always put up YouTube videos with like the timestamp of where a particular statement is said that's relevant to the video I'm making, so they can go and dig into it for themselves. But then now it's turning into, well, now I can go back and reference that information, because YouTube's search tool sucks. You can't find anything on there anymore.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Dude,
terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Hey, well, I love that. It's like a biography in a way.
And one other thing I was going to say is like you picking up that I do have a sense of humor. Well, I feel like in just like the last month and a half, when I see the videos that I make, I'm like, okay, I recognize that guy. Like up until then, I was like, I'm making those videos. I know that's me, but that's not me. That's not the real me.
Interesting.
I hadn't been able to figure out how to be myself on camera, to be myself and present the information. But now it's starting to be someone I recognize looking back at me on my phone.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Shit, I want to break that down.
That's such a relatable thing, dude.
Love that.
You listen to our episode 1 and then you listen to our episode 50,
Yeah.
completely different guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, and it's challenging, you know. And a good reference to that is Champ wants to hear you say giant blocks, Ben.
Giant blocks of maybe they're next to giant balls. Maybe they're in between more giant blocks. I don't know. Maybe they're just giant balls.
Who knows,
know.
man? Who knows?
I didn't see that comment. That's fucking awesome. Dan, hey man, we love you, bro. And hopefully we'll see you in the small town of Taylor, Texas, very soon.
And if you show up early enough, we'll get you some of the best barbecue you ever had.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Dude, for real though, we'll talk off air.
Oh damn, dude, you're from a barbecue state too, though.
He
so.
is, and it's very
you are.
good.
So I've had barbecue from a guy that made it in his backyard. And after you have that kind of a level of barbecue, it's hard to go get some from a store and be like, this is as good. It's not. The guy that made hundreds and hundreds of pounds of barbecue and sold it in 8-pound increments, like tins, like at the Air Force Base. That's the best barbecue I ever had in my life.
Yes, dude. Well, dude, if you end up making it out and you show up early enough, we'll go get some Louis Millers. Dude,
I'm in.
It'll change.
I'm doing everything I can to get there. I gotta just figure it out.
Honestly, you'll unlock a level that you didn't know was possible with food, bro. Like, just letting you know.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So,
hell yeah, dude. Hey, Dan, I appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you. We love you. Everybody loves you in the chat. Everybody was just doting on you, man. And
people gave us super chats because you're the best UFO guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you those super chats.
We're gonna send you $12.
Yeah.
What's your Venmo, dude?
Yeah, what's your Venmo, dude?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even know what Venmo is, man. I'm out. I know what sus is. I don't know what Venmo is.
I know something that somebody else doesn't know. Holy crap! And I just got a Venmo not too long ago.
All right. Well, shit. Hey, we'll make our barbecue restaurant vibes off air. But Dan, dude, want to thank you again, man. This was freaking awesome. One more time, dude. Tell people where they can find you, and tell people where they can find you on TikTok or wherever else.
You can find me on Twitter at Hey Look Over There, but look is spelled LUK because I ran out of characters, and you can see it right below my ugly mug right now. But if you go to TikTok and just search UFO, you're going to find Fifth Pillar, or I think it's the Fifth Pillar of Emphasis. I also have a YouTube channel I'm trying to nurture to try to get it a little bit larger. It's mainly stuff that I post on TikTok that's on there right now, but I'm hoping to eventually branch out into longer format information. And I think I made Melinda Leslie upset, or I got on her bad side this week because she was asking for groups of people or podcasts that are over 1,000 viewers or followers on YouTube and a couple Facebook and a couple other groups. Yeah. And I chimed in with like, I got 63,000 followers on TikTok and no one gives a crap because it's TikTok. And then like other people piled on. I was like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, you're about to piss her off again because I think you're about 2 minutes away from beating her as the longest podcast we've ever had.
All right. Give me the crown. I wear the belt.
Awesome, dude. I fucking love it. Oh my god. Hey, we made that list, by the way, dude.
I saw you.
I don't know. Dude, she spelled my name wrong.
Yeah, what was your last name, Joe? Walk out.
Zelensky. Yeah, I was like, what am I? Some kind of Monsters Inc. character? Mike Wazowski or some shit? Mike Wazowski. It's Strelsky. It's Czech. But my mom is Mexican. That's why I'm weird. Oh my God.
Damn it. That's so funny,
man. Hell yeah. Great stuff, man. Fucking dude, Dan, we love you, man.
We love you.
Love you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, man.
It's mutual. It's a bromance.
Bromance.
Love it.
All right, we'll talk to you later, brother.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a nice night.
Peace.
Thanks everybody that was watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we gotta do a Manscaped thing real quick.
Oh, dude.
Oh my
Manscaped.com.
Oh my god.
The Lawnmower 4.0.
Look at that.
If you don't have it,
if you don't have it though,
if you don't have this, your balls are hairy.
if you don't have this, you gross.
And they also have all this cool stuff right here.
Don't be gross. Nobody likes gross guys.
As well, dude.
So here's
Check
what
it out.
here's the angle. Look, we don't make any money off of this podcast. Like literally not anything. Like these ads, maybe you got like one ad off of a video we did 10 weeks ago, but we get like 5 cents on this thing though. They might end up maybe paying us like $5 like per month. That would be cool.
Dude.
So if you want to support the podcast, go to Manscaped. You get 20% off plus free shipping. Christmas is coming up. Did you know, Joe, that there is a massive I didn't freeze. I was fucking with you. There's a massive shipping freeze where like, hey, people are saying you only have like a month between now and Christmas to order stuff. And then from there on, no one's going to get presents ever. Like,
I don't even like Christmas.
It's Christmas.
I know. That's why I said it.
But like, I mean, I know I'm laughing, but like, you order something from Saskatchewan, it's going to take 12 years for it to get to you because there's all kinds of stuff going on that you're not going to get that present. So you might as well order it now. And
you know why, right?
I don't know why I'm talking like this. Like Michael
You know
Kowski. Why?
Let's go, Brandon.
Oh, I got it. Let's go, Brandon. So
funny, dude. I don't care what your political views are. That's hilarious.
I don't have any.
I don't either. That's why it's so funny.
I just think everything's hilarious.
Yeah, let's go whoever. I don't give a fuck. They all suck.
Fuck, dude. They do suck though. They do.
All of them.
All of them. Anyway, you know what doesn't suck is Manscaped.
Libertarian. Oh, Manscaped. Right, correct.
You know what doesn't suck? You know what trims instead of sucks is the Manscaped 4.0.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, if you guys haven't heard this spiel,
spiel, dude.
Spiel? Is like
everybody's
it's like open your mouth. Spiel. Spiel is that I was a customer before they reached out to us. We have someone that works at Manscaped. I'm not going to name any names, but they like our show, and that's fun, right? That's fun.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's give these guys a chance. And they called up the headquarters and they sobbed and cried and they screamed in their face to say, can we get Joe and Ben from the UFO Garage a part of this program? I'm literally telling you, this is true. This is what happened.
It's a true story.
It's a true story.
And corporate was like, no.
They were like, no, I don't like his face. Which one? And they were like, I'm not allowed to tell you that. Just say left or right. It depends on when you started listening to the podcast. Joe he used to be on the left, and Ben used to be on the right. And they're like avid fans.
Oh God.
Well, like that's fucking cool though, right? Like someone that worked at Manscaped is fans of our show, and we're like, hey, we want to like give you like throw you a bone. That's fucking cool.
Yes, dude.
So, dude, even if you're a lady or a man, you have a duty.
You said duty.
I did say duty. That means poop. You could present yourself. Let's make this. I don't know. I'm gonna sit up straight. You could
sit it. I'm gonna sit low over then.
You could scape yourself as a man.
Can you?
The question you have to ask, are you a man? Are you a bush?
I'm a man.
So that's a question for the man. But if you're a woman, will you let your man be a bush?
No, I want you to be a man.
No lady wants their man to be a bush.
This is the longest Manscaped commercial ever.
So,
On the record for the longest Manscaped commercial ever.
So what I'm trying to say is,
what he's trying to say is go to manscaped.com and use the promo code UFO
Garage.
UFO Garage.
UFO Garage is the code.
And you will get some kind of percentage off of
it's 20%. It's 20% off plus free shipping, dude. And free shipping.
I like how you did the walking motion. Like the ship
gonna be free for long. It's not though. 2 fingers.
Yes.
Free shipping is not going to be free for long. And we all know that. Deep down.
I gotta say, Chad Smith may have beat your promo just now. Chad Smith says this podcast is brought to you by Trojan, Manscaped, and Flashlight. Also, those boxers with the charcoal fart filters, those two. Use code Chad Smith and get 0% APR on all purchases. Chad Smith wins.
Hold on, wait. The charcoal fart filters, is that real?
I don't know, but I was gonna Google that as soon as we got off.
Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
Oh my God. While Ben's gone, if anybody does decide to come out to the show, I want you guys to check out my homie, Tattoo Timmy. He's down on Main Street. He does great work. I'm not going to show you guys a phone number because I don't know, like, he doesn't just want like random people calling him on his phone number. But I did wanted to shoot this out to you guys if y'all want to check it out. T-Dermographics at gmail.com. Guy does great works, man. So definitely go check it out. Tattoo Timmy, 211 North Main Street, Taylor, Texas, 76574. Hell yeah. Bro, I got some Chinese too, bro. Check this out. They're not charcoal.
That's pure charcoal.
Manscaped.
What size did you get?
I got extra large.
Does this say extra large dong, dude?
It's
That's
well,
what
it's
mine
like
says. This is what mine says.
it's a medium large in the back, but it's an extra large in the front.
It tastes like carbon.
Does it taste like carbon? Does it smell like carbon?
It does. Just giving it like a big whiff.
It smells pretty good.
Carbony.
Hell yeah.
It smells clean.
Chad says that Dave Scott's feeling lonely.
Oh my God. Shit.
It's like 11:30, dude.
Fuck. We're totally running into Dave's show. Oh my God. I feel like a dick. I'm so sorry, Dave. Dave Scott. We love Dave Scott. You guys, stop watching our show. Go to Dave Scott. Stop it. Okay, we're done. We're done with a. Okay.
Oh shit, man. Hell yeah.
Chad,
but dude, this was so much fun.
This is so much fun.
I love Chad Smith.
I love Chad Smith. I love Dave Scott.
I love this guy.
I love everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Dan
for
Warren's
with us.
amazing. Everybody,
Dan Warren's
don't
awesome.
forget to go check out Dan Warren, his channel. Dude, the guy just does amazing stuff. He's so great.
He's good. He's great.
Oh, Champ says Dave
my
can
God.
wait. All right, we'll go for another hour. I'm just kidding.
Well, we're not gonna do that.
No, I gotta pee anyway. So,
I peed for like a long time. All right. Oh my gosh.
hey,
AK
Willie.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you,
That's
brother.
what's up.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh wait.
We
Oh,
had
he
another
says
one
thanks
up
for
here.
not having. We love Dave Scott. What do you mean? I'm hiding, but thank you for that $5 donation.
G West also, thank you, dude, for the $5 donation. He says, I live out in LA and there are a ton of container ships just sitting off the coast. It's crazy. I know, dude. Let's go, Brandon.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who's Brandon?
I just said it, fool. G
Oh.
West. He just gave us a $5 donation as
G
well.
West is fucking crushing it tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Killing it. thank you everybody for showing up tonight, man. Hey, we love you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for y'all, me and Ben would just be talking to each other, which we already do that anyways.
Thing that we would be talking to you about, that you would be talking to me about, but it would just be us guys.
Yeah, that's right.
If you think
But
about
instead
it.
of just us guys, it's now yous guys
And us as well.
and us. So it's us guys and yous guys.
But also, I gotta slip this in. I'm a big Dave Scott guy.
I'm a big Dave Scott guy.
I love Dave Scott at SOR.
I also finished his entire bottle of wine.
You know who would love a glass of that?
You?
Me. Fucking me, dude.
Me, baby.
Me.
Me, baby. Me.
Oh my god, dude. Like what Dan was saying earlier, there's nothing funnier than an inside joke.
I know. When he said that, I was like, "Oh, so like UFO Garage podcast."
The
And
whole fucking
everything we say,
It's
if
the
you've
reason.
been listening for a while, we know who the OGs are because they get the inside jokes.
It's the reason why we have such a low rating on iTunes is because people you either hate you don't like. Okay, all right. People hate us. People hate us. If you're still here, there's 15 people here. Will you guys help us out and give us a good rating on iTunes? Ratings, reviews, and shit. Can I add that'd be my Christmas present. That would mean so much because the dirty, filthy shit that people have said about us, about your butthole on iTunes, dude, as a review, they specifically reference how dirty my butthole is on iTunes. And I've got to set the record straight that I'm a clean guy. I take showers.
Clean. He's clean. Every other day, shower.
Yeah. Me and
Hell
Dave,
yeah, man.
Dave Wilcock, we're basically roommates.
Y'all are roommates. Oh my god. iTunes is how we pay taxes in Canada. Is that real? Is that real? Is that real? I gotta know. Is that real? Because I would immediately put my iPhone in a fucking blender because taxation is theft. And I'll end the night with that.
All right, okay, we're way past. Okay, Dave Scott is 30 minutes into his show. He's way better than us, way more entertaining. We gotta go. Love you guys. Thank you.
But he doesn't have a sweet ass beard like this anymore.
Yeah, but he will.
And he doesn't have the long ass, sweet ass hair no more.
Shit. Did you ask him if he did?
I saw him today on Facebook chat.
Dude, I chatted with him today too.
We were talking.
I feel like he's like I don't know. He's like my brother, dude. I love that guy.
He's a great dude.
I fucking love that
Dave
guy.
Scott. I was talking about the Canadian UFO coins. They're fucking expensive.
They're holograms. That's what I was saying.
No, they glow in the dark though. Hell yeah.
For real?
All right. Yeah, they do. Seriously, I literally looked them off today.
Okay, I'm just trying to. I know we could talk about this for like a fucking hour.
Peppa says that Dave's on a break. We have 2 more minutes.
Oh my god. Well,
I
hey,
love it,
if anybody's listening back in our chat and I'm gonna hop back in a SOR off after our chat. Will you tell Dave that we love him? Anybody? I know
whatever.
Tammy's
Big Willie said he talked to him right before he went on. Nanny nana boo 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 boo. LOL. Whatever, Big Willie. I'm gonna call him right now while he's on the show. How about that?
I talked to him right before. Okay, so
Big Willie also has a sweeter beard than me,
dude. Oh shit, Will, I almost told you. They're gonna announce it soon. Yeah, I'm excited for Big Will.
Well, you better fucking tell me when we get off.
No, you know about
Will. God damn it, you better tell me.
You know about it. I just can't say it. Yeah.
Is it in the email? Because I never checked that shit. It
What?
is. I'm gonna go look at the email.
Now's the time that you decide to fucking check the email. God damn it, Joe.
I told you I check it twice a week because you created like 8 different emails for people, and fucking we all have different emails, and so then I gotta go check the actual UFO Garage email plus my email plus all the other email and calendars and shit. It's so confusing.
Sorry, I'm annoying you with my friendship.
I don't think that's what it is. You're just so technologically advanced, dude, that you're like, oh, we need emails for everybody. And I'm like, bro, no, I don't want an email. Don't give me an email. Just I will just check the UFO Garage email. I'll just tell people that it's UFO Garage email. But
I might as well have made an email for my fucking nipple.
You should have, dude. It would have got the same amount of attention. Seriously.
You don't even.
Your nipples see emails like more than I do, I'm sure. Yeah. My work is so pissed because I never check work emails. And they're like, but I set you up with your own email. You even have your own calendar. You even have your own schedules. We even color coded it for you. And I'm like, well, dude, can you just send it to my email? I fucking made that shit 16 years ago so I could check emails. And now you want me to check a completely different email? I don't roll like that, okay? But I do it for you, bro, because I love you. So I started checking your email. I check your emails more than I check work emails, and they pay me.
Dude, I don't even pay you. Well, shit. Wait. Once Dave, I don't know.
Once we start getting $5 a month, dude, from Manscaped, we'll start paying me.
Talking about paper, dude.
I'm about to
I
go
don't know
to
what you talked about with Dave today, but my conversation with Dave was like, Dave, I want to do this for a living. Not Joe. He gets to keep his landscape job. Fuck him.
Our conversation, I literally started it off with it went like this.
Like,
it
fuck
went,
man.
No, it went, yo, Dave, don't you have some UFO Canadian money or some shit? Is that in circulation or is it hard to get? And then he's
like scratching your arm.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, you got to go to eBay. And I was like, shit. And then he called me. And then we started talking about UFO money from Canada.
I fucking love that.
Yes.
That's so funny. Our
conversations were way different.
Well,
yours was like, hey, how can I make money? And mine was like, hey, how can I spend money on some stupid money from your country?
How can I spend some of my money on your money?
It isn't worth as much as my money, but I'm going to pay more for my money to get your money.
Okay. All right. We got to go.
All right, dude. Well, hey, man, bro. This has been another episode of UFO Garage. We'll talk to you next time, everybody. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
peace.
Goodbye.
Sus. Big Willie sus. Later.
Yeah, that works.
What's up with the ending the broadcast thing?
Start check. All right, dude. I gotta go.
Me too.
All right,
the broadcast.
I'm trying to. Bye.
Oh, come on.